We are 51 days into spring and 42 days away from the first day of summer. Somebody forgot to tell the weather gods that, because 5 inches of snow fell here at Coors Field overnight, and over the past 8 hours we have been downgraded from a winter storm warning to a mere frost advisory. Hi again, everybody. Charlie Steiner, Oral Hershiser, Nomar Garciaparra. So here are the Dodgers trying to get home. They had the second best record in Major League Baseball. Clayton Kershaw making his 4th start in search of his 100th. How does a cold weather day like that impact on Kershaw and pitchers in general?
Well, advantage pitchers and advantage Kershaw, especially if Clayton can locate his fastball today. The hitters don't want the ball on their hands. They don't want it off the end of the bat. That stings. So Clayton with his fastball, if he can locate it, especially inside to righties, because that's what he's going to mostly face, that is going to lend itself to a very good outing. I like the fastball way, but the mistakes and the places he's been getting hurt are fastballs in where he leaves them over the middle of the plate, and that would not be good.
Of course, the Dodgers offensively have been among the best in baseball. They lead the majors in home runs. A cold weather day like this, how does it impact on the hitters?
Well, going off what Orioles said, hitters do not like the ball on the inner half off their hands because it's going to sting, or off the end of the bat. So you really try to focus to square everything up. Even if they're borderline pitches, you seem to take. But there's one batter here at the Dodgers where I don't think it affects one bit, and that's Adrian Gonzalez. He's just been consistent all year long, and he enjoys hitting here at Coors Field with a 305 average. He's coming into the game batting 373, and he's had success off De La Rosa batting 349 with 3 home runs.
So on a frigid Sunday afternoon, we're getting ready to play. Not exactly a beautiful day for baseball, but it'll do. Lineups and first pitch coming up next. cleared the field, and the temperature is warmed up to a toasty 37 degrees on this Sunday afternoon in Mile High Country. And our closed captioning this afternoon is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. They're fun since '61. The 19-10 Dodgers and the Honda starting lineup presented by Don Mattingly. We begin with Jock Peterson in center field, Jimmy Rollins at short, Howie Kendrick is at second base. Adrian Gonzalez has always loved hitting up here. Alex Guerrero at third base. Chris Heisey starting in left. Kike Hernandez in right. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Clayton Kershaw pitching and batting ninth. Jorge De La Rosa, who's had great success over the years here in Colorado, getting the start this afternoon.
Yeah, you're not kidding there, Charlie. Since 2011, April 2011, a 23-4 record here at Coors Field. He's going to come at you with a fastball that can top out to the mid-90s. He's got a cutter slash slider because it has a little bit more break than your typical cutter. And he's got an occasional curveball and a good put-away split finger.
And as this game is about ready to get underway, it is the first time all weekend that the Dodgers have seen even a ray of sunshine. Walt Weiss, in his third season, has seen his Rockies go into a free fall. They have lost 8 in a row, and during this 8-game losing streak, the Rockies have been outscored 67-26. Playing behind Jorge De La Rosa this afternoon, the great Nolan Arenado at third base, Troy Tulowitzki at short. LeMahieu is a Gold Glover at second base. William Rosario is at first base, recently recalled. Rafael Inoa is in left. Drew Stubbs in center. Charlie Blackmon in right. Dick Hundley is behind the plate. So Corey Dickerson, Carlos Gonzalez, and Justin Morneau, 3 left-handed hitters, will not at least start the afternoon against Clayton Kershaw. Here's Jock Peterson getting ready to get it underway for the Dodgers at 264 with 9 home runs and 19 runs batted in. At a .425 on base percentage, he ranks 8th in the league in that category, and with 24 walks, he is 2nd in the National League. So it'll be Peterson and Rollins and Kendrick on a day that feels like more like, Denver Bronco football weather than Colorado Rocky baseball weather. But there is sunshine at long last. And De La Rosa ready to make his first pitch.
Pink equipment everywhere today, Charlie, in honor of Mother's Day. And
in honor of Mother's Day and breast cancer awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Pink aplenty throughout the ballpark. No balls and a strike to Peterson. No balls and 2 strikes. We were talking in the open, Nomar, about how much fun it is to hit in cold weather. Now, explain that to those who don't have to put a piece of lumber into their hand and somebody throwing 90 miles an hour at it.
Well, first of all, if you get jammed and it's warm, your hands hurt anyway. And then it just hurts 10 times more when it's cold. And then you hit the ball at the end of your bat. And also, your bat isn't necessarily warm when you grab it. So the feeling of the bat in your hand being cold, you're trying to warm that up as you're getting to the plate. So all of those really play tricks on your mind and can be painful.
Down goes Peterson, and we are underway.
De La Rosa throws a nice slider right there, low and away. It's the kind of pitch we're going to be looking for from Clayton Kershaw today.
So here's Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy struggling, 18 for 108. That's a 167 average. And he is but a couple of RBIs away from 900. Plenty of good seats still available, so if you're in the neighborhood.
He can build a snowman if he wanted to up there.
This is a fella who clearly doesn't have a whole lot of friends. And there he is the other night. It's a big ballpark. Somewhere, anywhere, there's got to be a better seat. Fan is short for fanatic. That is a fanatic.
Maybe he just doesn't want to break the rules. Maybe that's the seat number he has.
Get a little bit closer. You don't need the binoculars. 2 balls and no strikes to Rollins. 3 balls and no strikes.
He is straight away center field also. He's looking at those binoculars. I was trying to find him, and he is dead central, right over De La Rosa's head.
Those are worse than Euchre sees.
But he can see the strike zone. That's what he's got the binoculars on.
Rollins apparently couldn't, at least according to Todd Titchener, the home plate umpire.
Jimmy's had a few of these in the last couple days.
He has. You know, you're going, okay, I'm seeing the strike zone. I know that's a ball, and it looks like it's a ball on the pitch tracks here as well. So he was taking his base.
Home plate umpire Todd Titchener in his 5th big league season. He's wearing the overcoat today. Now you know you're in a slump.
Yep. Well, you know that, and then you know you're in the slump, but you're also just frustrated now at the home plate umpire because you're going, okay, I walked on ball 4. This one he also thinks is ball 4 as well. He knows he's not calling it on his swing because he didn't point at Jimmy. He's calling it on the pitch.
Into short left, and slicing foul and out of play.
Now Jimmy's dealing with some bees in his hands. I think he got that one off the end of the bat. He's like, I shouldn't be up here, and now my hands hurt.
And that sting doesn't feel better immediately. It'll linger.
It doesn't go away. It stays with you. It stays with you. Can stay with you for a whole inning.
Really?
Yeah. Just you're going, gosh, still hurts.
On 3-2.
Oh, got another one.
Well, he's got that one, and the ball bounces. Hit right now. He's frustrated because I'll tell you what's frustrating about this at bat for Jimmy, because we know he's been in the slump. Ball hits off his helmet, but you're going, okay, I'm trying to lay off bad pitches. I'm trying to get good pitches. I worked the count 3-0. I thought I had a walk, and now here I find myself going after pitches because I feel like I have to protect.
On 3-2 again. Tulowitzki just does get Rollins. So Rollins, who thinks he should have walked, takes a couple off the fist and then one off the helmet. And when all is said and done, he grounds to short. Now here's Howie Kendrick at .280 with 3 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Into right field for a base hit. So Kendrick is aboard with a 2-out single to right.
That's typical Howie Kendrick at positioning of the hit and where he likes to hit the ball. But this ball, he's got nice solid spin on it. It's not that fly ball to right he's been hitting with the side spin. It's a line drive ground ball that he just squared up perfectly. No bee sting on that one, no.
No, and you're talking about that. He's been hitting them lately with that slice to right field. Mm-hmm. That wasn't going to slice. He hit that in such a line. If that was in the air, it wasn't slicing anywhere. It was on a line.
Adrian Gonzalez, the second leading hitter in the National League. Now just 9 RBIs short of 1,000 for his career. 9 home runs, 3rd in the league, 25 RBIs. He's 4th. Dodgers looking to draw first blood. He takes a strike, 0-1. Dodgers, when they score first this season, are 10-2, and the Rockies, when the opposition scores first, are 3-13. So Gonzalez on 0-1. Now 0-2. Alex Guerrero is on deck. They figured on Friday night we'd have about a 2-hour window to play, and that's about what we got. The Dodgers managed to win in 5 innings. They figured there'd be no chance to play yesterday, and there wasn't. And they said it'd be a cold, nasty day today, and it is. No runs and 1 hit. Clayton Kershaw getting ready for his 7th start of the season in search of his 2nd win of the year on a cold day in Colorado. A team that got off to a great start, 7-2, but have plummeted 4-14 since. And here's a lineup he has put together with 3 of his best hitters, Dickerson, Gonzalez, and Morneau, lefties, sitting it out. So it's going to be Blackman, LeMahieu, and Tulowitzki. Arenado having another terrific year. Rosario just called up trying to adapt at first base. Nick Hundley's having a good season behind the plate. Stubbs is in center field. Inoa in left. De La Rosa pitching and batting 9th against that fellow.
And Clayton going for his 100th win, a 4th attempt at that. And the key to getting it, really, if you look at his statistics, is runners in scoring position. The league and his opponents are hitting 400 off of him with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, and 333 when runners are in scoring position with no matter how many outs there are.
Charlie Blackman pops it up left side and out of play.
You see the differential, runners in scoring position and runners scoring position with 2 outs. I mean, those are huge jumps. And Clayton has had a few outings already this year where he had a chance to put them away and get the Dodgers a W, and ended up having to turn it over to the pen, and they couldn't bring it home.
2 balls and a strike. Kershaw, with 51 strikeouts, is 2nd in the National League. James Shields of the Padres, the only pitcher with more. 51 strikeouts, only 7 walks given up by Kershaw. And Blackman, last year, his initial All-Star appearance. But Kershaw falls behind 3-1. LeMahieu on deck and Tulowitzki to follow. So Kershaw not wearing the long sleeve T-shirt under the jersey. And the 3-1 to Blackman. 3-2. Now, what are the pros and cons to that?
You know, I just think he's just saying, you know what, I'm going to disregard the elements. Both starting pitchers today are going with short sleeves. I wore long sleeves even in 100-degree weather in St. Louis. I just didn't want the sun to touch my skin, and I would definitely have long sleeves on today.
So Kershaw falls behind and then comes back to strike out Blackman.
You know, I'll tell you, obviously with the temperature starting in the high 30s, but there's no wind. I mean, look at the flags right now, and that really is a major factor as far as comfort and how much you feel the cold. So going out with no sleeves, I can understand that because of that, because there is no wind right now.
Always marvel at those big offensive linemen, 15 below zero wind chill with no T-shirt on underneath. Now LeMahieu. 1 ball, no strikes. LeMahieu is the 3rd leading hitter in the National League at .360. Primarily a singles hitter. Has 32 hits, 26 singles, a home run, 4 doubles, and a triple. Has been batting eighth quite a bit for Walt Weiss, but with the right-handed oriented lineup today against Kershaw, he's in the 2 spot. Into center field, and there is Jock Peterson. So here's Tulo, hitting .313, and has done reasonably well over the years against Kershaw. He's second in the league, Tulo is, with 13 doubles, but only 2 home runs so far this year in 96 at-bats. There's a strike, and it's 0-1.
And if you talk to the people around the Rockies club that see Tulo play every day, they say he is swinging the bat as well as ever. It's just the home runs are down because he's hitting the ball on the screws and he's hitting it line drives and hard ground balls.
Tulowitzki in his career against Kershaw, .255, but as mentioned, he has 3 home runs. The 1-1. High and away, 2 balls and a strike. On a day like this, is it harder, easier, or the same for a pitcher to grip a ball?
It's a lot harder, and you have to find ways to make your hands a little stickier. Sometimes it's a piece of bubble gum that when you go to your saliva, then it's got that sugary stickiness. Sometimes I actually would put a little bit of cup of water on my head. You'd say, oh, that would make you freeze, and it does, but you want the water to kind of drip down around your neck so you can get some moisture on your hand.
2-2 to Tulo. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Well, Kershaw, an outstanding first inning, striking out Blackman, getting LeMahieu to fly out and Tulowitzki to strike out. Guerrero, Heisey, and Kike Hernandez. This day, and it strikes particularly at home to the Dodgers because Bobby Patton's wife, Sherry, one of the Dodger owners, is currently undergoing chemo for breast cancer, and of course our best wishes are to Bobby and to Sherry and the entire Dodger organization, wishing them nothing but the best, and all of the Dodgers indeed dressed in pink today. Alex Guerrero, Chris Heisey, and Kike Hernandez will bat for the Dodgers here in the second. So Kershaw, a very good first inning. Guerrero at .350 with 6 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Ball upstairs and high, 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Guerrero, Heisey, and Hernandez. And Guerrero starting at third base this afternoon. And he drills one to right center field, and that is going to the wall. It's going to be at least a double, and that is what it will be. A stand-up double for Alex Guerrero to begin the second inning.
He looks so good in the batter's box right now. I mean, this ball right over the middle of the plate, staying down through it. I mean, just driving it the other way. It's not, we know he's been hitting a lot of home runs so far this year. I mean, just in the very few at-bats. And you, as a hitter, sometimes you get a little bit homer happy and you have a tendency maybe to pull out and trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. He's not doing that. He's staying on the ball, driving it the other way with a nice double.
Now Chris Heisey steps in. Heisey 0 for 2 in his brief time with the big club. Takes up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Kike Hernandez on deck. Heisey spent most of the first month at Oklahoma City. And into left field for a base hit. Guerrero initially was going back to second base. He wasn't going to make it home anyway. He took the conservative route and properly first and third, and nobody out.
Heisey gets that base hit, and for Guerrero, he did the right thing because it's hit to your right, and the first thing is to go back to the base. You don't automatically just go because depending on if the shortstop can make that play.
You think the instruction from Don Mattingly there was hit for yourself because Heisey wasn't really attempting to go to right field?
I think so.
This early in the game?
Yeah, I think early in the game and probably also in the bat, getting toward the bottom of the lineup. Just go ahead and try to knock a guy in.
Right.
And this is a ballpark not conducive to pitcher stills. So Kike Hernandez at 267 takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
Looks like he may have those pink wristbands around his leg. Got the high socks on, and it looks like, I wonder if he has them around his calves or over the calf. There you go. That's one way to wear them.
Calf sweat.
Yeah. It's a new thing, new trend.
Arenado, boy, is he something. There's one. That's all they can get. Guerrero comes in to score on the fielder's choice. The Dodgers take a 1-0 lead, and there is Nolan Arenado, 2-time Gold Glove winner in each of his first 2 seasons in the big league.
Doesn't take him long. The Carl's Cam gets this diving stop to his left, and this is the reason that Guerrero went back to second base on the ground ball that was in front of him. First of all, you freeze on a ball hit running, but Arenado down there at third base, you don't know what he's going to come up with, so you better be retreating. And on that one, got a nice force out at second.
Oh, he comes up with only everything. He's something.
He's amazing.
Now A.J. Ellis with the Dodgers early leading 1-0. And Ellis takes a strike, 0-1.
How many times do you see a guy dive and the ball deflects off their glove? It sticks in his glove. I mean, as much as he dives and as much range as he has, you should think we should see a lot of plays where the ball kind of scoots away from him. He leathers him.
Ellis fouls it off to the right, and it's 0-2. The Dodgers this year, as a team, are hitting .245 against left-handed pitching, .266 against righties. It is a chilly day. 37 at game time. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Remember when the fancy shoes used to be reserved for just guys that were really fast? A.J. Ellis is wearing the pink shoes.
Hey, they put them in your locker. Obviously, it's for today. You know what it represents.
Painting the turtle's feet pink.
1-2, a toss to first base. Hernandez is back.
We usually get to see the fancy stuff at All-Star games, you know?
Yeah.
They make all the custom-made special things for the guys.
I was checking out Jock Peterson's cleats before the game, and those nice all pink. Even the bottom is almost like a neon pink in the plastic.
1 ball, 2 strikes to A.J. Ellis, 4 for 26 this season. To second base, and this would be your tailor-made 4-6-3 double play. Dug out by William Rosario, a work in progress defensively at first base, but he digs it out. And the Dodgers come up with a run on 2 hits and lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. AG. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com today. So Clayton Kershaw sitting on 1,498 career strikeouts, too shy of 1,500 in this his 216th big league start. He'll be facing Nolan Arenado, Willeen Rosario, and Nick Hundley as we begin the bottom half of the second inning, and Kershaw has been staked to an early 1-0 lead. Arenado at 299, leading the Rockies with 6 home runs. Now, historically, the Rockies, the Lake Street Bombers, have been a home run hitting team. Coming into the game tonight, or this afternoon at any rate, the Dodgers lead the majors with 47 home runs. The Rockies just 29.
That is a rarity for the Rockies to be down in that statistical category.
Howie Kendrick, tough hop, makes it look easy. 1 out. Got there in a hurry.
And maybe the Rockies, with their home runs being down, they'll end up having better splits on the road. You know, they've always been a team that hits off the charts here at home and then struggles on the road, maybe with more line drives and ground balls that they're hitting.
Well, they're equal opportunity struggling. They're 4-8 at home this year, 7-8 on the road, and a chopper to short. Rollins from deep in the hole. Rosario is gone quickly, 2 out.
You know how hard that play is, Omar. I heard you groan.
Yeah, well, because you see it when it hits. You see the high bounce right off the dirt at home. So you're going, okay, if I charge it, I'm going to get in between. So now you're backing up so you can try to get a clean hop. And that still catches you in the middle of the chest. And now your momentum's taking you to the back. And now you got to get your body to go forward to make a good throw to first base.
So as we have seen over the past couple of years, really, teams are attacking Kershaw early in the count. 3 pitches, 2 outs for Kershaw here in the bottom of the second. And Nick Hundley is the Rockies' leading hitter. One-time Padre catcher takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
You mentioned the first pitch attacking. This year, when the first pitch is put in play against Clayton, Ladders are hitting .407, 3 home runs, a triple, and 2 doubles.
Now the 0-1 is just outside.
That information everybody has when you have your scouting report. They're talking about, okay, how do we go out there, Kershaw, what's going to be our attack? Look at these numbers, guys. 400, over 400 on that first pitch. Be ready and get swinging.
Breaking ball for a strike, 1-2.
You know, I haven't looked at the breakdown on the pitch FX, but I would bet that a large percentage of first pitches to right-handers from Clayton are fastballs inside. That they also not only are doing well, but they have an idea what's coming.
Fastball just outside and low, and it's 2-2. Drew Stubbs is on deck. Dodgers began the day with the second best record in baseball. And Hundley is down on strikes. 1,499 of them for Clayton Kershaw. Nothing across for the Rockies. Clayton will lead off in the third, and it'll be Jock Peterson and Jimmy Rollins. Kershaw in search of his 100th career victory this afternoon. strikeouts against the Rockies this afternoon. It was against the Rockies last year, June 18th at Dodger Stadium. Kershaw with the no-hitter. One miscue away from a perfect game. Hanley Ramirez boxed one at short, but the very next hitter hit one down the third base line. And Joe Rojas made a spectacular play, keeping that no-hitter intact. Clayton is 1 for 13 this year as we begin the third. He and the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead to play with against Jorge De La Rosa. Missing outside. Kershaw's only hit a double this season. Nomar mentioned earlier, and it's an astonishing note about De La Rosa. At Coors Field since 2011, so 4 years. He's 23-4 and a .338 earned run average. That's not supposed to happen here.
He has really tamed the monster here, which really can be terrible for pitchers and has been terrible for the Colorado pitching staff. At this altitude, and he's really learned to keep the ball down, get it on the right plane. You see that angle and that fastball going down towards the knees, and that low arm angle delivery that he has. He's done quite well at the Mile High City.
He has the highest winning percentage at Coors Field in franchise history at .750.
Kershaw lives to see another pitch.
When I was the pitching coach for the Texas Rangers, you were always looking for the guys that could pitch in Texas. It's so hard with the heat and the wind and the way the ball carries there. And you see Pitch Tracks has it outside. Clayton not only with a great arm and an MVP and a few Cy Youngs, he's got a good eye.
Arenado cuts in front of Tulowitzki, and Rosario manages to keep his foot on the bag. Dodger fans, keep your greenery inspired with your very own Tommy Lasorda Garden Gnome, presented by Chef Burrito Seasonings. Get yours on May the 25th when the Dodgers play the Braves. Go to Dodgers.com/promotions. So 1 out, nobody on, and Jock Peterson is coming up.
So many things to say about the Garden Gnome, but too much respect for Tommy to say them.
Well, here's Peterson, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat, wearing the fancy foot apparel on Mother's Day. All the Dodgers, most of the Rockies are wearing something pink today. On Mother's Day, Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Bobby and Sherry Patton are in attendance today. Sherry is the Dodger owners. Bobby, she is battling breast cancer. They are good folks, and we're glad they're here. 0-1, and Peterson rolls one innocently to second base. Rosario still trying to figure out how far to go to field a ground ball or not. It makes the play. There's 2 out.
And that's one of the toughest things as a first baseman is, as you're learning the position, is recognizing when do you go after the ball, when do you know your second baseman has it. A lot of communication, understanding your range, because your instinct is to go get the ball. And that's exactly what it did. He actually played that perfectly. He recognized that and then went back to the bag, knowing the second baseman was there.
Rosario's a terrific hitter. They're still trying to find a position for him to play. Jimmy Rollins bounced to short in his first at-bat and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Jimmy at 165. Takes high. So De La Rosa, his 5th start of the year. 12 innings and 12 earned runs. Pitching historically has been an issue for the Rockies. At a bunt up the first baseline, and Rollins is out. That is some play by Jorge De La Rosa, begun with the fielding gem by Willeen Rosario.
I think they're going to need to take a look at this one. I don't know. I was staring at the bag looking at which foot was going to be first. It looked like Jimmy's foot was first to me.
Well, the Rockies remain on the field. Mattingly is looking into the dugout. Tim Wallach is on the phone with John Pratt, Dodgers video fella, and they're going to ask for.
Yeah, he's safe.
I think he got it in there.
I think he's safe by about an inch or two.
So the first base umpire, Clint Fagan, and the crew chief, Mike Everett, will go in and listen to the folks in New York and figure out what they think.
That's a nice bunt by Jimmy, though. You know, he recognized one. The second baseman was really playing him to pull over. He was on the shortstop side. He had Willen off the base as well, and you got a lefty, so you had a nice push bunt. They made a fine play on him as well. Look to see if they do overturn this, and I think he gets his. Oh, that one's tough on that angle. That's tough on that one. That angle looked like he actually might have been out.
A photo finish. Terrific play by De La Rosa, and
this is gonna be another one where they say not enough. Not enough to play stands because there's not enough to overrule it one way or the other.
And Jimmy trying to battle to get out of a slump and does the right thing, lays the bunt down, and now he's in instant replay possible slump.
Yeah,
he did everything he could to counteract the shift against him.
Yep.
The bunt to the right side. And again, Rosario, who has just been learning how to play first base over the last month to 6 weeks, mostly at AAA, has made two very good plays here in this inning.
I mean, when he flips that, when he flipped it over there to De La Rosa, I mean, De La Rosa barehanded, didn't even use his glove, barehanded the ball. So it was just a great play. Regardless of the outcome, it's a great play.
Out at first base. Jimmy Rollins continues to hit in bad luck. Nothing across for the Dodgers. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Clayton Kershaw leading the Rockies 1-0. Career strikeouts, and it's time for a look at the Coors Light cold hard facts, appropriately enough, here at Coors Field, where Clayton Kershaw has not done statistically terribly well. Very few pitchers, of course, do. However, he is 4-0 in his last 4 starts against the Rockies here in Mile High Country. Drew Stubbs is a strikeout waiting to happen. 28 at-bats this year, 17 strikeouts. And that has been the issue wherever he has played, Cincinnati or here. And just off to a brutal start, 2 for 28 as Kershaw. There's 1 ball and 1 strike with Rafael Ynoa and Jorge De La Rosa to follow. One and two.
We're starting to see the sharpness of Clayton's slider return. If he has a good one here at this altitude on this day, it's really going to be good when he gets back to sea level.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Drew Stubbs. Kershaw deals. Call strike 3. And for 27-year-old Clayton Kershaw, his career 1,500th strikeout in his 216th start. Yet another check mark on the remarkable resume of Clayton Kershaw.
And it comes on public enemy number 1, the curveball. It just drops out of the sky.
Kershaw sitting on 99 career victories today. So this could be a milestone day for Kershaw, of which he has already had many. At the age of 27, 1,500 strikeouts. 1-1 to Ynoa, who is 5 for 26, 192. It took a while for him to get here. It's going to be a tough play. Rollins can't make it. First base runner for the Rockies.
That's really all Jimmy could do on that play.
Yeah, it's a tough way to give up your first hit. Clayton's last outing, he gave up a hit to the starting pitcher in the 9-hole, the first hit he gave up here, and they'll take some 8 hitters to get the first hit off of the day. A chopper over the mound, and you know, as soon as it's over Clayton's head, it is do or die for Jimmy or Howie, and Jimmy took the shot at it, and there was no getting it.
Jorge De La Rosa has 1 hit this year, has not attempted a sacrifice. Guerrero in on the grass at third. And there's a fastball for a strike. Gonzalez is quasi-holding the runner. And then he sprints in with the release of the pitch.
They're actually bunt plays. And as far as signals from the first baseman to the pitcher on when the pitcher's coming to first and when you can leave early as the first baseman.
Bunted up the third base line, and Guerrero has 1 play, and that's the first base with Kendrick covering. It's 2 out. And watching Guerrero play third base, they kind of, well, let's see how it works out in spring training. And really it was at the behest of Tim Waller. And then he grew acclimated to that spot almost immediately.
He was really miscast for the middle infield. His tools really tool out to be more of a third baseman or a left fielder like the positions they have him in now.
And that gets his valuable bat into the lineup as well as Charlie Blackmon steps in. Dodgers with a 1-0 lead, 2 out in the bottom half of the third. Kershaw up at 32 pitches for 2 2/3. Your assessment at this point?
You know, I really like the way he's using both halves of the plate with his fastball. We've seen the curveball drop out of the sky for the 1,500th strikeout of his career. We've seen the slider be good. Very few mistakes.
Popped up, left side, Rollins taking charge. And that'll do it. Clayton Kershaw, 4 strikeouts through 3 and 1,500 strikeouts in his 216th start. Dodgers 1-0 as we go to the 4th. So what were you doing at 8 o'clock this morning? This is what the grounds crew was doing here at Coors Field. About 5 inches of snow fell overnight. And then by the end of the cleanup, they were taking snow off the tarp. Then the tarp, of course, came off the field, and somehow, miraculously, we were ready to go. And at the moment, it is a balmy 37 degrees. I'm sorry, the weather still is frightful. Although there are some in our crew that disagree. The two in the booth are not among them. Oh, was it miserable last night? Snow coming down sideways, and then you had to look at the calendar and remind yourself it was the 10th of May today. It is closer to the first day of summer than it was to the first day of spring. Howie Kendrick with a base hit in his first at-bat. Howie at 287. Ball, 2 strikes. Adrian Gonzalez, Alex Guerrero will follow.
It's 35 degrees, and it looks like the wind's blowing at about 10 miles an hour. It probably feels like about 29 down there on the field.
On 1 and 2, De La Rosa has 2 strikeouts on the day. Now 3. First out of the 4th.
Is it just a battle of survival, Nomar?
It's what you feel when you're that cold. You just,
as a pitcher, you're moving around, you stay warm, you got the ball, you know your intensity, but you guys are watching a lot.
And you're trying to get warm when you're in there on the bench. Hopefully, you're wondering. Some places have heaters, some places don't. Keep your legs and then your hands. You just want those to be warm.
Gonzalez bangs one to deep right center field, and that is going to be one hop off the wall. Adrian Gonzalez on his way to second base with his 13th double of the season. Boy, does he love hitting here.
He can hit at any altitude.
Yeah, he enjoys hitting here. He enjoys hitting off De La Rosa. Tell you, the first at bat, De La Rosa came right after him with a fastball, and he took it and then found himself in the hole. His tendency to just kind of get a feel, and then he wasn't waiting around this at bat. Came in knowing, okay, if you throw a fastball again in that same spot like my first at bat, I'm going to tee off on it.
For Adrian Gonzalez, his 18th career double here. And here's Alex Guerrero, who doubled and scored a run in his first at bat. Dodgers up 1-0.
It was interesting to sit with Alex Guerrero the other night, Nomar, you and I, and to talk to him about what he knew about Major League Baseball before he came over here. He didn't know a whole lot, because they're not allowed to watch MLB in Cuba.
Yeah, we were looking up, we were talking about certain guys' stats.
Guerrero on 0-1, missing outside.
And then we looked up yours, and then he'd been asked, he goes, so, Oro, you pitched? Because he didn't know.
He had no idea.
He had no idea.
He had no idea. And
that's what he said.
And he didn't know how good a player John Valentin was, who is the guy who's coaching him and hitting, and he looks so much like. So we looked up Valentin's stats for him and showed him how many home runs he had in the big leagues. Yeah. And he's like, this is the guy who's teaching me how to hit. And I said, yeah, this is the guy. This is how good he was.
Yeah.
He played 11 years in the big leagues. He averaged about 10 home runs. He had 1 year where he had like 28. And he goes, oh, okay.
It puts it in perspective. I mean, really don't understand what they had to go through over there in Cuba, and then coming over here and just a whole new environment.
To not know John's resume, but follow all his instruction.
But Guerrero down on strikes. 4th strikeout for De La Rosa, 2 out. Valentin is the assistant batting coach, along with Mark McGuire. What a job they have done. Dodgers lead the National League, in fact the major leagues, with 47 home runs. Lead the National League with a .345 on base percentage, and second in the league in runs scored.
Nomar, were you part of the generation where all of a sudden it became 2 hitting coaches?
No,
you all
just
had
had
one.
Yeah, it was after. It was, there was where there'd be one, maybe not the whole year, but would be there. Sometimes it would be just at home games, or you'd have somebody just kind of helping out the assistant that you really wouldn't see on the bench.
Chris Heisey is the hitter. He singled to left in his first at-bat. Gonzalez at second with 2 out. De La Rosa thought he had a strike. So Heisey 1 for 3 since his call-up. Over the course of his career, he's enjoyed hitting here. 385, one with the Cincinnati Reds.
With this big outfield and Adrian Gonzalez's speed and 2 outs, that's really going to help him a lot in scoring on a base hit. Adrian, not the most fleet foot guy, but the outfielders have to play a little deeper here, of course. They'll have a little bit more time on a ground ball or line drive base hit.
Well, when they play deep, balls drop in front of them. When they play shallow, it splits the seam. Which inevitably raises the question about the dimensions here at the ball.
Yeah, I would rather have my outfielders play shallow when I was pitching here and play normal, because if it goes over your head, that's my fault. If it falls in front of you, I feel like I want that out if I make my pitch.
A run and 4 hits for the Dodgers, no runs and a hit for the Rockies. 2 out in the top of the 4th. Heisey, did he go around? No, sir. Heisey takes a walk, and it brings up Kike Hernandez.
Did he go, Nomar?
No, I don't even have to look.
Heisey, 2 plate appearances, on board both times, a hit and the walk, and Kike Hernandez robbed of a hit in his first at-bat by Nolan Arenado. He wasn't the first, and he won't be the last. Robbed by Arenado in third. Hernandez 4 for 16 with the big club. And starting in right field, he can play all 3 outfield positions. Second, short, and third as well. And it's 2-0. His start in right field today is his first with the Dodgers. De La Rosa falls behind 3-0. A.J. Ellis is on deck.
Yeah, that pitch before that one, De La Rosa was really upset because he thought it was a good pitch, thought it should have been called a strike. He really took his time and was just kind of trying to get refocused after not getting that call.
Todd Tichenor is the home plate umpire.
Speaking of taking his time, he's the second slowest pitcher in all the big leagues this year between pitches as far as pace of game. Right around 26 seconds between pitches. The only guy slower than De La Rosa is David Price. The fastest in all of baseball, of course, Mark Burley. He's somewhere just above 16 seconds in between pitches.
3-1, first and second, 2 out. Now the bases are loaded for A.J. Ellis. Nick Hundley's gone out to calm down De La Rosa as much as anything else, and here comes Steve Foster, the pitching coach, to do the same.
You know, I was reading about how they actually time this between pitches for pitchers, and they count a pickoff like a throw to home, like a pitch. They don't include visits to the mound or any delays in the game that are not under the pitcher's control, like a mound visit or a broken bat or something goes on with the hitter or the umpire. But just they take a survey of all the times that there's really just a normal pace to the game and the pitcher is throwing a pitch and then you're waiting for him to throw another one.
Gonzalez, Heisey, and Hernandez are the runners. Ellis, who bounced into a double play, is the hitter, and he is yet to get a hit in his career against De La Rosa. Going inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Ellis is 0 for 7 with 4 walks against Jorge De La Rosa. The Dodgers with a chance to add to their 1-0 lead. Bases loaded, 2 out in the top of the 4th. 1-1.
AJ had to keyhole him right there, and I think he got one right where he was looking. Inner half, kind of slightly up, and just missed it. That was the pitch he was looking for, Nomar.
That's when you go back at night and you think about in your sleep. You're going, okay, and right now in the middle of the bat, you're hoping, will he do it again? Will he make that mistake?
1-1. 2-1. De La Rosa has dug himself a hole. And the 2-1 is getting deeper.
I think AJ is definitely sitting on something inside. He grounded into a double play to the second baseman on something away before hit it weakly. Looking for something that he can turn on.
3-1.
And when a guy who's having trouble finding the plate, even though that's how they got you out last time, you look for your pitch. You don't try to go to them. They got to prove that they're going to be able to hit their spot.
AJ's got to take this pitch, I think, unless it's exactly where he wants it. But he's fouled a ball back that was exactly where he wanted. I think he's got to take and get the count to 3-2, even if De La Rosa throws a strike.
Ball 4. 3 walks in a row. The leadoff double to Gonzalez, who touches the plate, and the Dodgers take a 2-0 lead.
It was a little bit more in than AJ wanted as far as swinging, and I think it's too far in as far as what pitch track says. Just off the plate.
De La Rosa is upset, and he's more upset with the umpire, I think, than he is with himself. He's obviously frustrated at himself, but man, when he got that ball, he screamed back at home plate.
Todd Tichenor, the home plate umpire, is just staring out at De La Rosa. So for Ellis, his first RBI of the season, for the Dodgers their second run of the game, and Kershaw can help himself a big deal with this at bat. Kershaw is 1 for 14, his only hit this year, a double. Heisey, Hernandez, and Ellis the base runners and a comebacker, and that's going to do it. But the Dodgers on the 1-out double by Gonzalez, and then 3 walks in a row have given Kershaw a 2-0 lead to work with as we go to the bottom half of the 4th. including the 1500th of his career. And he will be facing 3 right-handed hitters. Nothing but righties except for Charlie Blackmon today. LeMahieu, Tulowitzki, and Arenado here in the 4th.
And you can see predominantly fastballs when he faces a right-handed hitter here in 2015, 84%. So the righties can not only zone in the speed with Clayton, a lot of times it's an inside fastball also.
And the thing that we've also been noticing as his career has progressed, and even more pronounced this year, hitters inclined to go swinging at the first pitch.
And not necessarily that that's a pattern he's going to have to break. It's just knowing that, and that he knows the hitters know that. He just needs to make a higher quality pitch, because the fact is, if you get it in that area, they're probably going to start the bat because that's what they expect. And you just put it, it's like, oh, I got what I want. Oh, no, it's in a hard place to hit.
So LeMahieu leads it off. DJ fly to center in his first at bat. The only hit given up by Kershaw, an infield hit to Rafael Inoa in the 3rd inning. He has struck out 4, hasn't walked anybody. This against a Rockies team 11 months ago he threw a no-hitter against. A half-hearted swing by LeMahieu, and it's 1-1. Tulowitzki and Arenado to follow. LeMahieu came over from the Cubs a couple of years ago. He had been a source of frustration in Chicago. Ian Stewart, a source of frustration for the Rockies. They said, well, you take our guy, we'll take your guy. Well, the Rockies turned out made a great trade. LeMahieu, Gold Glove winner last year, is hitting .356 at the moment, but Kershaw's fallen behind 3-1. Walt Weiss with a solid player he was. Kershaw delivers a strike at 95. It's as fast a pitch as he's thrown today. The Rockies scored 10 runs on opening day. They have scored as many as 7 only once since. But the leadoff walk to LeMahieu.
You know, Nomar, they just turned the lights on. Is there a big difference in the overcast day on a day game when they turn them on or not, or is it just
very little
eyewash?
No, there is a little bit difference, but not much. It's not something where when you're playing an overcast day where you're asking, hey, can you put the lights on? It's really up to the stadium if they feel like they need them on.
So maybe a product of the weather forecast, and the possibility it may get darker before the day is done. Tulo with 2 home runs this year, one of them against Kershaw. Nolan Arenado will follow. Dodgers with a run in the 2nd and a run in the 4th. 2-0. Tulowitzki, a strikeout victim in his first at bat. Last month at Dodger Stadium, Kershaw's given up 5 home runs this year. That was one of them. And Tulowitzki with one of his 2 home runs on the season. Well, Adam Dunn's not going to hit anymore. But Chris Denorfia and Troy Tulowitzki have hit 3, and Cargo with a day off today. Into right, and it's going to drop in front of Hernandez, who shows off quite an arm. But the Rockies with their first runner in scoring position, 1st and 2nd, and nobody out.
Well, Kershaw gets in, and Tulowitzki wasn't hit very hard. He just was able to muscle it out over there. We talked about the big outfield, being able to hit in front of Kike Hernandez.
Now here's Nolan Arenado. Bounced to 2nd in his first at bat. rain-shortened game on Friday night, he was 1 for 2. So Kershaw, the leadoff walk to LeMahieu. Tulowitzki's single to right. And this is Clayton's first bit of trouble this afternoon. LeMahieu, good speed at second. To center field. Peterson going back. It's going to stay in the ballpark. Tagging and easily going to third is LeMahieu, first out of the fourth.
This is the part of the game that Clayton really needs to work on this year. It's when runners are in scoring position. We mentioned earlier that when runners are in scoring position this year, they're hitting .333 off of Clayton. When it gets to 2 outs, they're hitting .400 off of Clayton with runners in scoring position. So this is the part of the game last year that made him so dominant. Even though teams set the table, he shut them down.
Willeen Rosario, good hitter, bounced to short in his first at bat. Runners at the corners. Nick Hundley on deck. Just high, 1-1. The Rockies as a team batting .274. That's the highest batting average of any team in the league. Runners in scoring position at .295.
Clayton backed into a little bit of a corner here. 2 back-to-back kind of bad sliders. Is he coming back with the fastball inside just to steal a strike? Watch out.
Into left field for a base hit. LeMahieu will score. The RBI for Rosario. The Rockies are on the board. The Dodger lead is cut to 2-1.
This is the hardest hit ball off of Clayton, and you watch right from the first pitch to the third pitch that gets hit. A slider, he's trying to come down and in, misses, and AJ had to jump back out there. Another slider trying to go down and in, and leaves it up. And now here comes the fastball in. Rosario just sitting right on it. He knew Clayton wanted to get back in the count. Probably wouldn't have used a slider to do it since he just saw 2 of them. Sat on the inside fastball and put a good swing on it.
So Rosario delivers. First and second. And Nick Hundley coming up. That's a fair ball. Tulowitzki will score. Rosario on his way to third. The score is tied at 2 for Nick Hundley. His 9th run batted into the season, and he's hitting over .350.
Well, this ball wasn't hit very hard, but once again, batters coming up. Right-handers know I'm going to get an inside fastball. I know at some point in the middle of my bat versus Clayton Kershaw. And on the very first pitch, once again, we talked about hitters attacking that first pitch on Clayton Kershaw. It's exactly what Hundley did. Stays inside. Gets jammed, but strong enough to get it over there down the right field line.
For Nick Hundley, he extends his hitting streak to 12 games. And he's hitting about .370 over the past month. Drew Stubbs has struck out 18 times in 29 at-bats. First and third. And Kershaw would love to punch him out here.
This situation right now, Oro, as a pitcher, you're Clayton, are you thinking strikeout, ground ball, possible double play? I mean, Drew Stubbs does run pretty well.
It's hard to think double play with Stubbs up there right now. I think you're just thinking, if you're Clayton and as many people as he strikes out, I think he's thinking get ahead and then strike him out.
But falls behind 2-0 last year with the Rockies. In 388 at-bats, Stubbs struck out 136 times. In Cleveland the year before, 141 times in 430 at-bats. So this is a fellow who strikes out a lot.
I think with Stubbs, Clayton really wants to live where that last pitch was, in the upper part of the strike zone, and beat him there, because he's a swing and miss guy. Also, if he does get on that, he might pop it up and save you the run also. If you pitch him down, Stubbs got a chance to make some contact, hit it on the ground, and stay out of the double play.
He's a very fast runner.
So really the contact Clayton is looking for is the swing and miss or the pop-up, not the ground ball.
Stubbs, a first-round pick by the Reds in 2006. Played collegiately for the Longhorns. Two and two.
Any one of his well-executed pitches right here, I think he can strike Stubbs out with. The curveball that drops from the sky, the slider down and in under his swing, or the fastball up. The only pitch I wouldn't throw him is a low fastball.
Stubbs struck out on a curveball in his first at-bat. Now it's 3-2.
They did go to try and dot the I on the outside corner. Pitchtrax has it as a strike. Clayton didn't get the call.
With Stubbs a possible strikeout. Hard to believe Hundley's gone. He's not. It's fouled off to the right and out of play. Rafael Inoa is on deck. A leadoff walk to LeMahieu, to Tulowitzki single to right, Arenado fly to center, and back-to-back singles for Rosario and Hundley. First and third, one out, two in, tied at 2 in the bottom of the fourth. Stubbs stays alive. Dodgers fly home and begin a 3-game series with the Marlins tomorrow night. Back to some nice weather. It was miserable in Milwaukee and didn't get a whole lot nicer here. Stubbs a little nubber in front of the plate. Ellis fakes the throw, and that keeps Rosario at third. Stubbs a very fast runner. So Ellis knew exactly what he had to do, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he recognized that there was really going to be a difficult play at first base over there at Stubbs. Wasn't hit very hard. It's a swinging bunt. He jumps out there, knowing he's getting down the line. He's just going, okay, you know what? Let's just make sure we keep that runner at third base. Still bases loaded. You have to have confidence in your pitcher and Kershaw that you possibly get that double play ball or come back and get that strikeout.
Kershaw needed 33 pitches to get through the first 3 innings. He has thrown 23 to get one man here in the fourth. Inoa an infield hit in his first at-bat. Nubbed up the first base line. Gonzalez steps on the bag, throw to the plate, not in time. And the Rockies take a 3-2 lead. In to score is Rosario. Going to third is Hundley. Going to second is Stubbs.
Clayton's had a few balls this inning that weren't hit very hard. A blooper from Tulowitzki that went to right field, and this little bleeder that Adrian plays perfectly is just hit so slow that they don't have a chance at Rosario.
So now De La Rosa, runners second and third, and the Rockies a 3-2 lead. De La Rosa a sacrifice bunt in his first at-bat. Dodgers came into the game having won 7 of their last 9. The Rockies Have lost 8 straight coming in. De La Rosa swings and misses, and it's 0-2. A leadoff walk to LeMahieu opened the door to this 3-run rally for the Rockies in the bottom half of the 4th. Looking ahead to the 5th, it'll be the top of the order for the Dodgers: Peterson, Rollins, and Kendrick. In the 5th inning in Arizona, the Diamondbacks lead the Padres 2-0. And in the 5th in San Francisco, the Marlins lead the Giants 1-0. Did he go around? No. That's third base umpire Tim Timmons.
This is what Mr. Timmons was looking at as De La Rosa has an awkward check swing.
Second and third and 2 out. Just outside, 2-2.
I really like that last fastball Clayton threw. I'd like to see more of those when he's facing the right-handed hitters and going with that first pitch fastball, that one down right there. That's where he's going to get a lot of ground balls to third base from the righties that are sitting on that first pitch fastball.
33 pitches through the first 3 innings. And this is a chopper into center field for a base hit. And on the 30th pitch of the 4th, 5 runs are in for the Rockies, and they lead it 5-2.
Clayton makes a really good pitch. De La Rosa makes a terrible swing and just happens to hit the barrel and chop it over his head into center field. Just trying to make contact, and he does, and he's a pitcher that doesn't know really how to hit, but
it's got to be a frustrating inning for Clayton Kershaw, not just giving up the runs, but the way they've gotten their runs.
Yeah.
I mean, really probably just one hard hit ball this inning.
Yeah, the Rosario 2-0 fastball after 2 sliders was the hardest hit ball. Other than that, things have just found holes, and it's frustrating completely.
"33 pitches through 3 innings, 30 pitches alone here in the 4th. Charlie Blackmon is coming up. Blackmon is 0 for 2. Kershaw delivers a strike. Blackmon is struck out and popped to short. Dodger bullpen about ready to go to work.
And you really can compare and contrast the greatness and now just the mere humanness of Clayton Kershaw right now, because last year and when he has been so dominant, it's about consistency. We know he throws 95. We know he has a great slider. We know he has an unbelievable curveball. He can pitch up. He can pitch down. He's pitched out of jams. But it's about consistency.
Kendrick will pick it up. Throw out Blackmon, but the damage has been done. 5 runs, 4 hits, and 1 man left. The Dodgers now have some work to do. Going to the 5th, trailing 5-2. championship by hosting an old-timers game with former Dodger greats. Be one of the first 40,000 fans and receive a 1965 World Series replica ring presented by Security Benefit. Visit Dodgers.com/oldtimers. Clayton Kershaw, 33 pitches through 3 innings, 33 in the 4th alone. It was the first time he had surrendered as many as 5 runs in an inning in 51 weeks. So the Dodgers, who are averaging about 5.5 runs a game this year, have some work to do against a Rockies club which has the highest earned run average in the major leagues at 5 1/3. So Jock Peterson leads it off. He'll be followed by Rollins and Kendrick against Jorge De La Rosa, who's given up 2 runs and 4 hits to this point. And De La Rosa delivers outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes.
De La Rosa has struggled throwing strikes. Surprising that Clayton swung at the first pitch in the last inning with De La Rosa up there walking so many guys. Trying to hop on that first pitch fastball, grounded right back to De La Rosa, but De La Rosa's home plate is on roller skates for him right now.
64 pitches. 37 strikes, 27 balls. Peterson is struck out and grounded out. And takes inside 3-0. A 1-out double for Gonzalez in the 4th, and 3 walks in a row. Plated the Dodgers' second run. They had a 2-0 lead until Colorado came up with 5 in the bottom of the 4th. And a 4-pitch walk to Peterson as we begin the 5th.
Last inning for Colorado, it started off with a walk and they ended up putting 5 on the board with the leadoff walks. Now here the Dodgers, they get a leadoff walk. Let's see if they can return the favor.
Meanwhile, Steve Foster, the pitching coach for the Rockies, trying to settle down De La Rosa, who was clearly frustrated with the strike zone of home plate umpire Todd Titchener in the 4th inning. Rollins has bounced to short and bounced to first out on a very close play at first base that required a replay. Outside and low, 1 ball, no strikes. Jimmy with 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Kendrick and Gonzalez to follow, and then after that Alex Guerrero. Evens the count at 1-1. Two balls and a strike.
Well, through this slump, Jimmy has done a great job of keeping himself just level-headed. We haven't seen a lot of frustration and helmet throwing or taking it into the field. The defense has been superb.
And I'm looking at the hard pull that the second baseman is playing him. I mean, he's practically right up the middle near second base. And when you're in a slump, you try to go, okay, you see that big hole over there on the right side, and you're thinking, oh, that's where I need to hit the ball. And you really fight yourself to say, okay, just stay within my approach, not try to get out just because they're playing me in a certain position.
Yes, LeMahieu, the second baseman, shifted over there. Peterson, of course, good speed. A 30-30 man at PCL last year.
And in that last pitch, that foul ball, Nomar, he was a tad late, and it's probably on purpose. A 2-1 fastball count for a hitter, and he's trying to hit it to the right side.
Rollins in his first at-bat worked the count to 3-0 and thought he had ball 4. He would eventually ground out. And he bounced weakly to first base in his second at bat in the third inning. So the count is full.
That pitch you were talking about, that the one he thought he walked on, it was that exact pitch almost right there.
Yep. We'll see if they, when a guy's struggling, sometimes they don't always send the runner on the 3-2 count. They might just leave him there, see if Jock's going here.
Not going. Slashed foul.
Jimmy looks like he's playing pepper with where the second baseman normally is. He's really bringing his hands inside and almost pushing the ball that way.
He recognized that, seeing that heavy pull. And also, I've always talked about, think about going the other way when you're struggling, and you're giving him that hole, and if it's the right mindset, why not try it?
Works out the walk. That's 5 walks now, given up by De La Rosa. He came into the game having given up 6 walks all season. Now the Dodgers get a gift. Kendrick steps to the plate, and he is the tying run.
De La Rosa has really set the table for the Dodgers, because Jock Peterson left on left situation. That should be somebody De La Rosa should handle. Jimmy Rollins in a pretty deep slump, below 200, struggling to find hits. He puts him on with a free pass, and now you're starting to get into the guys that are swinging the bat and are really starting to get hot.
Kendrick single to right and has been struck out. Dodgers trail by 3 here in the 5th. Well, we saw Eddie Butler in the rain-shortened game on Friday night. After Butler, the Rockies starters this season, including De La Rosa, have a combined record of 5-10 and an ERA of over 6. And their bullpen ain't a whole lot better. And they're beginning to go to work. Rafael Betancourt. Right now, De La Rosa appears to be lost at sea.
And he's very distracted, too. He's been distracted by the home plate umpire. He's been distracted by the base runners. He doesn't seem to be locked in mentally at all. He's had a couple visits from his pitching coach to settle him down.
2-0 to Kendrick. 3-0 to Kendrick.
He's smiling about it even.
Well, it's kind of like a fighter after taking one right between the eyes. He smiles. That didn't hurt.
It's going to start hurting here in a minute. He's going to throw over the plate.
When your eyes start watering and you're smiling, something is amiss. Good speed on the bases for the Dodgers. They trail by 3. The count is 3-0. And Kendrick takes a 4-pitch walk, and that loads the bases. De La Rosa has walked 6 of the last 7 batters he's faced. Now it's Christian Berkman warming.
And here's where you fight yourself as a hitter. You got Adrian, who swinging a good bat, also RBI guy, swung at the first pitch his last at bat, but then you have the guy just walk 3 batters in front of you. You're battling with yourself mentally, going, okay, now do I really keyhole him? If there's a pitch right I can handle, do I go ahead and let it fly?
And if I'm on De La Rosa's side, I'm throwing him back-to-back sliders. I can't throw my fastball for a strike. I need to get a new rhythm and a new feel on the mound. I got a guy up there. No matter what, I'm going to throw back-to-back sliders.
There's a strike. Gonzalez 1 for 2 with a double. A career .350 hitter against De La Rosa. And has 4 career grand slams. Into right field for a base hit. In to score is Peterson. Rollins right behind him. Now rounding third and heading home is Kendrick. A bases clearing double for Adrian Gonzalez. And the Dodgers have tied the score at 5. for Gonzalez, his second double of the day.
De Rosa throws a first pitch slider to Adrian Gonzalez, and then he tries to sneak the fastball by him, Nomar. That slider was good, low and away. Adrian just spit on it. And after that, he made him pay.
Yeah, it was a good pitch. He gets ahead of him, and Adrian's like, well, listen, I'll still key home. You are struggling right now to find your spot. Gets a ball in the inner half and turns on it nicely. She's just a complete hitter, isn't he? Or, I mean,
it's just, you know, you get pitches to hit as a hitter, but when you're that hot, he just doesn't miss them. And when he gets a pitcher's pitch, he's been fouling balls off and spoiling things. And then all of a sudden, you get one near the middle of the plate, and he barrels it up.
Well, Walt Weiss can only do so much. Christian Bergman is on his way in. Jorge De La Rosa on his way out. We are all even. We're in the top half of the fifth, tied at 5. And when we come back, Alex Guerrero will be greeting Bergman. And Kershaw's got a new life. Third innings, and opposing hitters are hitting .329 against him. Guerrero with Gonzalez at second. The Dodgers respond with 3 in the top of the fifth. And De La Rosa is knocked out. Guerrero with a double today, and Gonzalez has 2. And there's a strike. The 2 doubles, by the way, for Adrian Gonzalez gives him 14 and ties it for Matt Carpenter with the National League lead at 14 doubles. And Gonzalez with 3 RBIs, now 1 shy of Giancarlo Stanton for the National League lead. Gonzalez with 28 runs batted in. Guerrero at .357. Hundley can't hang on.
Well, this is advantage Dodgers because you have Clayton Kershaw on the mound. I know he's struggling today, at least he did in the 4th, but now you have Clayton Kershaw against the Rockies bullpen. The Rockies bullpen is second worst in the National League with a 4.72 ERA. They've thrown 95 in the 3rd innings. That's the most in the NL. They've got the worst batting average against, 280.
And even if it goes to the battle of the bullpens, only the Cardinals have been better than the Dodgers. And one other statistical aside in all of this. Can the Dodgers score at least 4 runs this year? As Guerrero takes inside. They're 16-0, and we're tied at 5. So the numbers certainly side with Mattingly's team, but there's a half a game yet to be played. Chris Heisey is on deck.
You know, for as cold as it is, we haven't seen the players really physically change their body language like they're really battling the elements, you know.
Except maybe De La Rosa.
Yeah, a little bit.
After every pitch, he was taking his hat off. He had a look like he wanted to be even at the dentist's office before being out here today. Well, there is a good reason for it. De La Rosa, of the last 8 batters he faced, 6 walks and a double. That'll alter your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Guerrero down on strikes.
I think they got him on the called strike, not on the swing.
First out of the 5th, and Heisey, who has singled and walked, with Gonzalez at second. On this cold day, 8th year the day off, Uribe the day off, Van Slyke and Turner watching along with Yasmani Grandal. So the Dodgers have a full bench. And Kershaw is back in the saddle as the Dodgers score 3 here in the 5th. Kike Hernandez on deck. Heisey checks his swing according to Clint Fagan, the first base umpire. 2-1. Dodgers began the day second best record in the major leagues at 19-10. Only the Cardinals have a better record. Now Bergman falls behind 3-1.
And don't be surprised if he throws another changeup. That is the pitch he likes. He can go from 91 down to 81.
And it has some good movement on it as well.
Mm-hmm. Nice arm speed.
And another walk.
This is really tough on the Rockies fielders, just to stand out there and watch the walks, especially with this temperature.
And they're kicking at their shoes and looking down to make sure the shoelaces are tied and trying to stay warm somehow. It's not been a pleasant day for the Rockies defenders in particular. We're tied at 5. And Hernandez takes a strike. It's 0-1. A.J. Ellis is on deck. Rockies pitchers have given up 7 walks in the last inning.
Not a formula for success.
And 3 of those 7 have come around to score.
Remember in the first week of the season, they got off to such a hot start. Their pitchers were doing great.
Lined right into the glove of LeMahieu, and that will end the inning. But Adrian Gonzalez, with his 14th double of the year, now has 28 runs batted in, clears the bases, and ties the score after 4.5. days, there's not many that are hotter than Adrian Gonzalez.
Well, we keep talking about the elements and what do you do to try to keep your hands warm, and Adrian Gonzalez hits his double, and there's the hand warmers pulling out of his pocket, making sure they're warm, and his bat stays hot and warm throughout. All of that good stuff. He can use some hand warmers.
Well, he's got plenty of company out there, doesn't he? DJ LeMahieu, the guy you just saw, the Dodger fan with the headphones on, has the worst seat in the house. It's like he sought it out. LeMahieu takes a strike. There he is. As they say, when you go to a ball game, you see stuff you've never seen before. In case you're wondering, the seat out there costs $6. To Jimmy Rollins. First out here in the bottom of the 5th. Come to Dodger Stadium May the 12th. It'll be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance to receive a Clayton Kershaw bobblehead that celebrates his historic 2014 season. Presented by Coca-Cola. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Troy Tulowitzki is 1 for 2. Single and a run scored. He's also been struck out. If you're just joining us, Kershaw sailed through the first 3 innings. 33 pitches through 3, then 33 pitches in the 4th inning alone when Colorado scored 5. Now quickly ahead, 0-2. So when Kershaw struck out Stubbs to begin the 3rd inning, that was the 1500th of his career. You see the 4th inning damage. Of all the active pitchers in Major League Baseball, Kershaw reached 1,500 strikeouts faster than anybody else. Lincecum second on the list. Verlander, Hernandez, and Jake Peavy didn't quite make the cut at 244 games. Look at the backhand stab by Jimmy Rollins. He may be struggling with the bat, not so the glove. Worthy of a Morongo slow-mo cam.
Line drive, just we talk about even when it's cold, you're trying to get a good jump, read off the bat. He does and makes fine play to his right. And this would be good if Clayton can get a 1-2-3 inning, especially after that last inning and your team coming back and tying the game and getting him back in the dugout.
And Jimmy's wearing his sunglasses on the bridge of his nose instead of the bill of his cap.
That's news.
This just in. There they are.
Function over fashion today.
Nolan Arenado, 0 for 2 this afternoon. 2 out, bottom of the 5th. Kershaw misses high.
You know, that reminds me, Jimmy wearing the sunglasses, actually wearing them, and it's not been that sunny. I bet you it's because of the wind, and he doesn't want his eyes to tear up from the cold wind. So that's just protection more than for glare.
Jock Peterson wearing the shades on his nose.
Well, you'll see guys, some guys have them on that, especially on a day like that. It's a day game, so you're going, okay, I'm going to need my sunglasses, but it's been cloudy, then the sun kind of pierces through, and it's so that's why you'll have guys on their hat going, okay, let me go out there. Do I need them right now? No, I don't. Okay, now I do feel like I need them.
You can also keep your face warm. Keep that wind off your face.
It's still cold.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. Rosario is on deck. Past Guerrero into the left field corner, and Arenado is on his way to second base with a stand-up double, his 10th double of the season.
This is a tough play for Guerrero at third base. I mean, this ball was hit well down the line and had a kind of had a funky chop to it as well, funky bounce. So it's a tough read and just unable to come up with it. Now when you feel like your fellow third baseman on the opposite team is picking on you with that, the way he hit that, and it gets by.
Now Willen Rosario coming up. Rosario's got a hit and a run scored and an RBI in 2 at-bats. And again, runners in scoring position. It's been an issue for Kershaw this year. Ball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. This season, with runners in scoring position and 2 out, opposing hitters are batting .400 against Kershaw. Last year they hit .157 against him. In the dirt, blocked beautifully by A.J. Ellis.
That's a great block by A.J. Ellis. I mean, that ball hit in front of the home plate.
It's a 55-footer.
Yeah.
Good investment in that Wilson chest protector. And now they decided with first base open, they would rather face Nick Hundley, at least have a force-out situation. But be careful for what you wish for. Hundley riding a hitting streak and batting .351. Hundley with a base hit back in the 4th inning. Extended his hitting streak to 12 games. Two on, 2 out. Dodgers just scored 3 in the top of the 5th, and they desperately would like to hold serve in the bottom of the 5th.
Well, Clayton's really pitching right here to stay in the game. He's the second hitter next inning. He's got 83 pitches. If they all of a sudden they get a hit here and he falls behind, it might give Don Mattingly some thoughts about pinch hitting for him. This is a big momentum swing for him personally and for the Dodgers.
Two balls and no strikes. Arenado at second. Rosario is at first. And Kershaw about to throw his 85th pitch. He struck out 4. He's walked 3. One of the 3 intentional.
His pitch counts throughout the year so far of somewhere between 91 pitches in his last outing and as high as 104 against Colorado when he got the W against them on the 17th.
First 3 innings for Kershaw were near flawless, only an infield hit. But then a 33-pitch 4th inning. Retires the first 2 batters here in the 5th. And is about to throw his 20th pitch of the inning. To the right side, tough hop. Boy, Gonzalez, the 4-time Gold Glove winner, shows why. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 left. And a good afternoon for Adrian Gonzalez. 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and really an MVP candidate through the Get to Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and surprising offers. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Use promo code BLUECREW for free entry. Considering what we awakened to this morning, 5 inches of snow, and they began work to get the field ready about 6 o'clock this morning. Field is in remarkable shape. It's still very chilly, 37 degrees. A.J. Ellis leads off for the Dodgers and takes a strike, 0-1. He walked in his first at-bat. Kershaw coming out of the dugout. He's in the on-deck circle. Nothing doing in the Dodger bullpen. 0-2 to Ellis. So Kershaw, with 87 pitches through 5, will pitch the 6th. As Ellis fouls it off to the right. However, the Rockies have bullpen activity. Christian Friedrich. Into right field, and it's going to be caught by Charlie Blackmon. First out of the 6th inning. Kershaw 0 for 2 today. 1 for 15 on the season. Giants and Marlins tied at 1. Miami beginning the 8th inning at AT&T Park. Marlins fly south to Los Angeles, beginning a 3-game series tomorrow night.
We get to see our old friend D. Gordon.
What a start he's off to.
Unbelievable.
Greinke will go tomorrow. And Greinke has really been the ace of the staff to this point. Greinke looking to go 6-0.
You mentioned Adrian Gonzalez, MVP candidate through the first 6 weeks of the season. Well, there's your Cy Young candidate.
And Jock Peterson, Rookie of the Year candidate. Some of the reasons why the Dodgers at 19-10 begin the day with a 4-game lead on the Padres. And Arizona has a 2-1 lead at home against San Diego, with the Pods hitting in the 7th. Kershaw, a comebacker. 2 out in the 6th. Mentioned D. Gordon. Began the day the National League's leading hitter at 437, with the most hits at 52. Gordon is the only batter in the National League with more hits than Adrian Gonzalez. Now, Steve Foster, the pitching coach, out to have a chat with his pitcher Bergman.
They got the lefty up to possibly have to face Jock if there wasn't 2 outs, nobody on. But here they're going to let Bergman pitch to him, just giving some instruction on how they want it handled in a tie game. And Jock has kind of been all or nothing, walk, strikeout, or home run throughout the year. And Jimmy Rollins struggling on deck. I'm sure they don't want to give in to Jacques' home run power right here with 2 out, nobody on.
What a small world. Peterson has struck out and walked today. Scored a run and bounced out.
It's time for the home run.
8th in the league with a .425 on base percentage. 25 walks on the year. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Looks like they told him to stay hard away and made him beat you the opposite field. I don't want any change-ups for strikes to let him get the head of the bat out. There he threw him one, though.
Looks like he made a mistake on that one. Jock just missed it.
Jock is getting a lot of teaching from Adrian Gonzalez on what to look for, what pitchers are trying to do to you. And Adrian, one of the smartest in all of baseball. It's almost like Jock is up there sitting on the changeup.
Yeah, that one it looked like he was thinking too much.
Yep.
He was looking for something else. That was right down the middle.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out. 3-2.
You've convinced him that you want to go with hard stuff. This might be the place where he's going to try the 3-2 changeup since it's his out pitch.
Into left field. Foul by a couple of feet.
Stayed firm against him. Jock staying back for the changeup. Took the fastball the opposite way. Just a hair late. Doing a good job.
He had good balance on this swing, like you mentioned. Where he hit it, everything was perfect. I think he just mishit it just a little bit. Just didn't square it up the way he liked it. Sliced foul for him.
Bryce Harper and Todd Frazier with 4 home runs, and Peterson and Gonzalez. And Peterson works out yet another walk. Second of the game and the 26th of the season. If they say that the best things in life are free, Dodgers have gotten a lot of good stuff today. This is the 8th walk surrendered by Colorado pitching.
It's been a really odd game with the runs in the 4th off of Clayton. If you'd have told Clayton you're going to have 3 at bats by the 6th inning, and your team and you're going to be tied 5-5, it's very odd in his game for that to happen.
And it's been an odd game for Jimmy Rollins. His first at bat, 8 pitches, resulted in a strikeout. Second at bat, 3 pitches and a ground out. And his third at bat, 9 pitches and a walk. Peterson with 2 stolen bases in 5 tries this season. Two balls and no strikes. Kendrick is on deck, and then Gonzalez. In the last 18 games between these two clubs, the Dodgers are 15-3 against the Rockies. There's a strike. 2-1. Gonzalez quite a day, and Walt Weiss trying to win a game for the first time in more than a week. Way outside. Rockies have had an awful lot of meetings on the mound today.
Yeah, they sure have. Sometimes to go over hitters, sometimes to calm down their starter De La Rosa, sometimes to go over the pitch selection right here and how the defense and where Tulowitzki's going right now as far as his positioning. I got to believe they're going to throw a changeup.
The shift is on. 3-1. It's now 3-2 to Jimmy Rollins.
They didn't, but they pitched him inside. Tulo went out after the meeting to a different position than he was before. He wanted to know where the ball was going to be so that he could position himself early instead of giving some warning to the hitter.
Peterson is off and running. The pitch is down and in, and the Dodgers have first and second, 2 out on back-to-back walks, and Howie Kendrick coming up.
Well, you got to be pulling your hair out to watch all these walks from the Rockies side. And the Dodgers need to capitalize on those 2 free passes.
9 walks given up by Colorado pitching. Bergman has thrown 39 pitches, 17 balls. Dodgers 2 out of 7 today with runners in scoring position. Kendrick swings and misses. Adrian Gonzalez, see behind him on deck.
The pair of Peterson and Rollins have walked in both innings, the last 2 innings. Set the table, and Adrian drove him in the last time.
Kendrick now falls behind 0-2. Gonzalez today has 2 doubles, 3 runs batted in.
Kendrick mad at himself. Ball up in the zone. And a pitch before, too, that he swung at as well. Ended up falling out of the strike zone.
Hundley does a nice job, 1-2.
Yeah, this has been in the first small stretch that we've seen Howie really not read the ball out of the pitcher's hand the way he was earlier in the season, for predominantly the first 5 weeks or so of the season.
3 home runs, 15 runs batted in on the year for Howie Kendrick. 2 on, 2 out, and a 1-2 pitch. We'll do it again. Two balls and 2 strikes. So in an inning and 2/3, Christian Bergman has already thrown, as you see, 44 pitches. There will be a 46th. The Rockies team ERA dead last in the majors, 5.34, and their bullpen's not a whole lot better. Kendrick stays alive and is driving Bergman crazy.
He's fought off the last 2 pitches. They're pretty good. They were borderline pitches. At least that last one was a borderline strike, but couldn't wait for the call. You have to protect the plate with 2 strikes and fought it off.
Well, you don't have to worry about the ball breaking from right to left from Bergman. He's throwing the 2-seam fastball that runs in on the right, and he's got the changeup that comes into him too. There's the first time he's thrown a slider, and they finally gave into that pitch, which is his 3rd best pitch, because they know they can't figure out anything to get Howie out with.
So with 2 out and a full count, Peterson Rollins get a head start. And Kendrick chops it to 3rd. Arenado, is he too late? Yes! Timmons, a third base umpire, with the emphatic call. An infield hit, and it brings up Adrian Gonzalez.
Absolutely huge play there for the Dodgers, for Jacques to get to 3rd base right here, because now it brings Adrian in. Oh, and he might be out.
Walt Weiss wants to have him take another look.
I think he got him.
And Arenado pointed right into the dugout right after it happened.
So Tim Timmons, a third base umpire, and Mike Everett, the crew chief, will talk to the folks in New York.
Watch the play, and if we keep running it, Arenado thinks he beats him here, because a few steps later, watch goes into Weiss. He sees it, points in there. Better check it. I got him, he's saying.
Yeah, Nolan was all over it. I think he got that one. This one's going to be, should be overturned.
Most of these replays take about a minute and a half. The replay, which turned out to be the game decider in that rain-shortened affair on Friday night, took 3 hours. Felt like 3 hours. 3 minutes and 11 seconds.
Well, we know Arenado's got great range and ends up using the glove and dives, and has got a real strong arm. And right now, that play right there with his ability, he could have decided to go to get Howie at first. But great baseball clock.
Out at third, and that's going to do it. Arenado. And the Rockies win the appeal. The Dodgers leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We remain tied at 5. All knotted at 5 in the bottom third of the Rocky order. Drew Stubbs, Rafael Ynoa, and presumably a pinch hitter for Christian Bergman. Kershaw's been a struggle today. First 3 innings, he was the Kershaw of old. 33 pitches, 5 runs and 4 hits in the 4th. 21 pitches, a hit and an intentional walk in the 5th. We're all even at 5. Stubbs takes inside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. One ball, 1 strike. Kershaw has struck out 4 today. He has walked 3. When he struck out Stubbs in the 3rd inning, it was the 1,500th of his career. Of all the active pitchers in Major League Baseball, the fastest to that figure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Back in the 4th inning, Stubbs nubbed one in front of the plate. Initially, it was called a fielder's choice. And then the official scorer wisely changed his mind, called it an infield hit, and Stubbs has been struck out for a 2nd time. 19th of the season in 31 at-bats. The 5th strikeout of the day for Kershaw.
This pitch sequence that Clayton went to finally get to this low fastball, some of the best pitches and the most consistent release point he's had of the day. Just dominant right down there with his curveball, his fastball, and his slider. And that's the thing that's really escaped him so far this year, is the repeatable delivery that gives him consistency to dominate.
Rafael Ynoa, 1-time Dodger farmhand. 1 ball, no strikes. An infield hit, and he's bounced out. Tied at 5 with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. There's a strike. Kershaw slider. Michael McHenry is in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. That one's just not fair.
He's 2 pitchers in 1 body. He's a fastball, high fastball, curveball pitcher. Those are the 2 visual windows for the hitter. And then he's a low fastball slider pitcher. Usually you get one or the other from somebody. With Kershaw, you get both.
So Clayton has struck out 5. He's walked 3.
If he ever gets to the point where he's a low fastball changeup also, he could be 3 guys in 1 body.
And that's just not fair.
Yeah, that would.
Nubbed up the third base line. Guerrero, not in time. Alexander did all he could, but Anoa beats it out. Anoa's got 2 hits today, and neither's gotten out of the infield.
Both like that. He pretty much has that down. I mean, another swinging, almost like a swinging bunt for Anoa. And once again, it was a do-or-die play for Alex Guerrero, just like it was a do-or-die play for Jimmy Rollins and Anoa's previous single.
Now Rick Honeycutt's going to go out, talk to Kershaw. And the Dodger bullpen is going to work. That's Pedro Baez.
So check on Clayton and go over some strategy and also a bit of a stall tactic to get Baez some time. So far this year, Clayton's been from 91 pitches to 104, and here we are, he's thrown 95. So can't imagine him going much further than the end of this inning if he can get through it.
McHenry 0 for 6 in his career against Kershaw. Backup catcher, former Pirate. 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the 6th. Outfield plays McHenry the other way. Kershaw misses inside, 2-0.
I don't think they'll play a little hit and run here at all. Clayton has swing and miss stuff. He's a lefty with a great move, so the runner's not going to get a very good jump at first base.
Gonzalez holding him. Kershaw has 1 pickoff this year, called for a balk the other night by Paul Emmel.
In my book, it wasn't a balk.
Yeah.
I thought he stepped towards first base within the rules. Wow. He's been getting that pitch. Clayton just barehanded that throwback from A.J. Ellis right there, and I think you could hear on our stadium microphones, bench going, whoa. Whoa,
Yeah,
that's right there.
That was a strike.
Todd Tichenor's hurt enough. And a 4-pitch walk, and now Kershaw is really steaming. It's the 4th walk given up by Kershaw. Correction is 3rd. The Rockies as a team this year, 295 with runners in scoring position. So the lead run, Inoa at second base. McHenry at first. Blackman takes high, 1 ball and no strikes.
Clayton has not been on his A game, and Mattingly and Honeycutt giving him a little more rope in this outing. If you remember back to Milwaukee when they took him out in a 3-2 game after a double from Adam Lynn with only 91 pitches, and knew Clayton wanted to still pitch in that game.
Blackman 333 with runners in scoring position, swings and misses.
Here it is, a tie game. Clayton showing some inconsistency out there, but Don sticking with him. And I think it's out of respect for Clayton and his competitiveness and what he's accomplished that I've earned the right to be out there in these situations, and I wouldn't be surprised if he voiced his opinion about that after the last outing.
That was in Milwaukee. Here's a strike, And it's 1-2.
I mean, it's Clayton Kershaw, and you want to see if he can get himself out of this inning. You know, the bullpens, if you want to bring somebody in, you like to bring them in starting off an inning rather than inherit runners.
And it's kind of like with you, Nomar, if you were in a slump and all of a sudden you can feel that the manager wants to pitch hit for you, but he lets you still go out there and hit. You feel that adrenaline and that challenge.
Into right field, and Kike Hernandez fighting it all the way makes the play.
Remember all the snow that was on this field and the rain that was here yesterday. That doesn't mean that, as beautiful as it looks, as the footing is not treacherous. Kike ran an odd route, but also the spikes. If you don't get straight down on some wet grass, you can lose your footing.
Yeah, I don't think he, first of all, read that perfectly the way he wanted to right off the bat, and then he slipped right there at the end, but still made the play. The ball looked like it almost came close to popping out, too.
37 degrees at game time, which is why you see Kike Hernandez bundled up as he is. Now LeMahieu, 0 for 2 and a walk, fouls it back, and it's 0-1.
I gotta believe this is Clayton's last hitter with 2 out. Maybe he gets to face Tulowitzki if he would happen to walk LeMahieu, but he's either going to get LeMahieu out or LeMahieu's going to get on, and I think that'll be it for Clayton.
Robbed of a base hit by Jimmy Rollins in his last at-bat was Tulowitzki.
LeMahieu coming into today has a batting average of 500 with runners in scoring position.
And the third leading hitter in the league. 1 ball, 1 strike. But he's primarily a singles hitter. LeMahieu has 32 hits, 1 home run, 4 doubles and a triple, so 26 singles. You know, is at second, Blackman. I'm sorry, McHenry is at first.
Clayton going to the well right here. 106 pitches he's already thrown, and he's still up there around 95, and he's cutting it loose. He's cutting it loose a little early and spinning off to third with the effort. That's why those balls are going high.
2-1 to DJ LeMahieu. 3-1.
You have to fight right now if you're Clayton, and you've got to fight the thought of, if I walk them, are they going to take me out? You've got to make a competitive pitch like you're going to pitch the rest of the game.
Pitch number 108. Now 3-2.
Ball's got to go to first base if it's on the ground. 3-2. The runners are moving.
These are the most pitches that Kershaw has thrown this year. So Enoa and McHenry will get a head start with a full count at 2 out, a tie score at 5 in the bottom of the 6th.
He doesn't want to throw LeMahieu a slider. He's been sticking with the high fastballs. He wants to surprise him with one. I think he gets him to swing and miss at it.
Here go the runners. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 4, and Kershaw can't believe it.
Well, we've seen this reaction from De La Rosa. We've seen this from Kershaw. We've heard the dugout yelling. Not too many people are pleased with the strike zone. It hasn't been as consistent throughout the entire game, and Kershaw thought he got that one on the outer half.
That is all for Clayton Kershaw. He strikes out 5, walks 4, and leaves 3 men on base for Pedro Baez. Tied at 5, bases loaded, 2 out in the bottom half of the 6th. And here comes Pedro Baez, a hard-throwing right-hander who has just been brilliant, as the entire bullpen has been. Baez making his 14th appearance. Opposing hitters hitting .200 against him. 18 strikeouts and just 3 walks. And he's primarily a fastball pitcher. And here comes the great Troy Tulowitzki with the bases loaded and 2 out.
Or we've been talking about, even against Clayton Kershaw, how he needs to make that first pitch really a quality pitch. Well, here you are, you're new, coming into the game, relief, bases are loaded. You got a tough hitter, Troy Tulowitzki. He's looking to jump over a first pitch fastball right now. So it has to be quality here.
Baez has never faced Tulowitzki. So Inoa is at third, McHenry is at second, LeMahieu is at first. Tulowitzki is 1 for 3 and a run scored. At 96, it's 0-1 to Tulowitzki.
Movement gives you a margin of error as a pitcher, and velocity gives you a margin of error for a pitcher, and that's what Baez brings to the table.
Bases are loaded and 2 out. Tulo hitting .313. 0-2 at 97.
This one is even better than the first one. The first one was basic 96, a little up in the outer half, but this one, he really paints the corner. He can take a shot or 2 now by not throwing a strike, getting it close if he wants to go up the ladder, if he wants to come in on the hands. Usually with the bases loaded, you don't like to come in and risk hitting somebody.
0-2. Wanted a high fastball today, Jay Ellis, and that's what he got. Too high for too low. Nolan Arenado is on deck. To this point, the biggest moment of the game. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 out. Baez gets him. Foul tipped it into the glove of A.J. Ellis. Strikes out Tulowitzki with the bases loaded. And will go to the 7th. All tied at 5. His second double of the day, and this one with the bases loaded. Now has 28 runs batted in on the season and 994 in his career. He is 6 from 1,000. So Gonzalez will lead it off for the Dodgers here in the 7th. He'll be followed by Alex Guerrero and Chris Heisey. So how about the job done by Pedro Baez, the tough Troy Tulowitzki, bases loaded, 2 out, and he strikes him out. Gonzalez takes a strike.
You look at statistics on bullpens, and you look at first pitch strikes, a guy coming out of the bullpen, and you get first batter effectiveness, and then stranded runners. Baez got straight A's on his report card.
This is Christian Friedrich making his 14th appearance of the year. The 3rd Rocky pitcher of the afternoon. Tied at 5 as we begin the 7th, and Gonzalez down on strikes. First out of the 7th inning. Here comes Alex Guerrero. Walt Weiss is coming out. He's made a couple of moves already. He just brought Friedrich in to face Gonzalez. We'll tell you about the other switches that Walt Weiss made when we come back. Man actually paid $6 for that view. He paid for the worst seat in the house, and he has not moved all day. Maybe he's frozen solid. He watched the game in the rain on Friday night and never moved a muscle. But he's watching Scott Oberg get ready for his 11th appearance of the season. The Rockies made a couple of moves defensively. Carlos Gonzalez is in right field. Charlie Blackmon moves from right field to left field, and Rafael Enoa takes a seat. Gonzalez will bat 8th in the lineup for Walt Weiss. So here's Oberg to face Alex Guerrero, 1 for 3. A double. He's been struck out twice, and he fouls it off to the left, and it's 0-1. Heisey is on deck. Marlins hitting in the top of the 9th at AT&T Park lead the Giants 2-1. And the Diamondbacks lead the Padres 2-1, playing in the 8th inning. Guerrero takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the big moment of the game to this point, Pedro Baez striking out Tulowitzki with the bases loaded and 2 out. Up and in, 2-1. And there are reinforcements apparently on the way as Guerrero has to get out of the way. Kenley Jansen, 13 pitches in 2/3 of an inning today. strikeout and a hit. And by the looks and sounds of things, Ken will be back in the saddle with the Dodgers before the end of the week.
I would say so. I don't know if that was his back-to-back today. That's why they limited him to 13 pitches, just to see how he warms up and how he went out there.
From the moment they repaired his left foot, the tumor that seemed to come out of nowhere, they said the over-under would be about the middle of May. Well, here it is, the 10th. And now it's just catching up to the small details. As far as Yasiel Puig is concerned, he will have an MRI looked at that hamstring tomorrow. His date of return is unknown. But the Dodgers, since Puig has been gone, have gone 10-4.
They've done pretty good, and keep talking about this lineup, just the depth of this lineup that they have, and it's carried them through this point.
With the best record, with the exception of the Cardinals in Major League Baseball. Did Guerrero go around? Yeah. Third time Guerrero's gone down on strikes.
Trying to hold up there, and that's the one as a hitter you're thinking, no, I didn't go, I kept it back. But when you go back and you look into the side, you're like, okay, yeah, I might have gone. This is a good call.
2 out, nobody on, and here's Chris Heisey. Dodgers still have a very hefty bench. Call strike, 0-1. Grandal's been watching today, so's Ethier, Uribe, Van Slyke, and Turner. So they're well stocked for a battle to the end. And that's the thing that's really carried the Dodgers above and beyond the pitching, which has certainly been solid. Bullpen's been great. Has been the depth of the lineup and the bench. One and two to Heisey.
Yeah, you remove the individual names of who played the positions, and you just look at statistics that come from each position of the Dodgers. Third base, right field, the places where the reserves have filled in or have platooned. It's just absolutely amazing. Actually, the numbers are actually better than most of the starters that play every day, other than Adrian Gonzalez.
Adrian today is 2 for 4. Hitting about 375. 3 and 2 to Heisey with Kike Hernandez on deck. Well, the guys who are playing third base for the Dodgers, for instance, Guerrero 350, Uribe 261, and Justin Turner 314.
It's really been right field, left field, and third base where we see most of the changes in the lineup.
There's a call for strike 3, and that's going to end the inning. The Dodgers have been struck out in order. 1 by Friedrich, 2 by Oberg, and we're at the 7th inning stretch. Tied at 5. Time for a look at the DraftKings game summary, and this is how we got here. Well, we got here this morning, at least the groundskeepers did at 6 o'clock. There was 5 inches of snow on the ground. And at the 7th inning stretch, Adrian Gonzalez has lifted his average to 377. The Rockies score 5 runs in the 4th. Clayton Kershaw had a wobbly afternoon. Kershaw going 5 2/3, 5 runs, 8 hits. Most pitches he's thrown in a game this year, 110-62 for strikes. And Pedro Baez, who came in and struck out Troy Tulowitzki with the bases loaded and 2 out, will pick up where he left off in the bottom of the 7th, facing Nolan Arenado, Aline Rosario, and Nick Hunt. Adam Libator is beginning to warm in the Dodger bullpen. Arenado today is 1 for 3. Here's Libator. Tough guy out of Western Pennsylvania. Got to be tough. They're used to playing in weather like this, for goodness sake.
Baez isn't.
Either is Kike Hernandez. He's got heaters on his calves.
It's well covered out there. Are we sure that's Kike out there?
1 ball, 1 strike to Arenado. Rosario and Hundley to follow. We're in the bottom of the 7th. We've been tied at 5 since the 6th. 2-1. We began the day with a winter storm warning, and it was demoted to a freeze advisory. 3-1. Jimmy Rollins trying to keep his hand warm. We're pledging allegiance. Arenado hitting exactly 300. 6 home runs and 17 runs batted in. To third. Guerrero. 1 out in the 7th. This Dodger bullpen continues to tell just a wonderful story. This is the 30th game of the season. In 89 innings, they have struck out 104, walked only 32. The opposition has hit but 186 against them.
And there's no soft tossers other than J.P. Howell, fastball, changeup, breaking ball. Everybody coming out of the pen is 93 and above, and really right around 95. And Pedro probably the hardest of all of them.
Rosario delivers a strike
with his 97, sometimes 98.
There's JP with the hoodie and the shades.
Terminator.
Rosario 0-2.
He does not look like the guy that was ordering flowers for Mother's Day on the bus the other day. He looks a lot tougher now than when he was ordering flowers.
Yesterday.
Was it yesterday that he did it? Yeah.
We took him from the shelter of the rain to ride back to the hotel.
He owes me for part of that cab ride.
Yeah. He'll send you a rose.
I noticed he was conveniently on the phone when it was time to pay.
Does he look like a left-hander or what? That is a lefty. 1-2 to Rosario. Up the middle into center field for a base hit. A 1-2 fastball at 98.
They continue to look for a place for him to play because of that bat right there. Intentional walk that we pitched around him last time to get to Hundley, who made the last out of the inning when Clayton was still on the mound. And a couple of hits from Mr. Rosario.
And here's Nick Hundley at 347. 1 for 3, a run scored and an RBI today. Hundley spent a half a year in Baltimore last season and came up and played a lot with the Padres. He and Grandal spent a lot of time sharing time behind the plate. Grandal the day off today. Hundley with his hit this afternoon has extended his hitting streak to 12 games and has a hit in 18 of his 21 games played this year. Hitting about 370 over the past month. Rosario has not attempted a stolen base this year. Drew Stubbs on deck. Jock Peterson shaded a bit toward right center. Baez at 15 pitches. Ten of them strikes.
Don't ask me why they do that.
Where they step off
and
just
raise your arm up. I don't know if they're hailing a cab or what they're doing, but
just trying to
drives the runner back, I guess. Yeah. As soon as we step off, you guys.
Oh no,
go back.
The hand gets us.
Is that? Oh yeah.
2-1. Arizona's beaten the Padres 2-1. The Dodgers can win today. They'd go 4.5 up on second place San Diego. To short. Rollins. Kendrick, that's all they'll get.
Smart play over there by Howie. Just recognizing that there's only one shot there. He stretched like he was a first baseman. Even Jimmy Rollins knew this was going to be a tough double play, so he made sure, backed up a little bit, made sure he had it, made a good throw to second base. But you see Howie just avoiding the slide, just getting that lead runner.
And here comes Drew Stubbs, who is 1 for 3 and was struck out twice today. Mother's Day and Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Stubbs, who has great speed and has difficulty making contact, tries the bunt and comes up empty. He's been to the plate 31 times this season, and he's been struck out 19.
Organizations hope sometimes that guys with good ability and potential, they get a change of scenery, that all of a sudden the back of the baseball card will change statistically in the negative areas. It hasn't seemed to work out that way for the Rockies so far with Stubbs.
He was a first-round pick almost 10 years ago by Cincinnati out of the University of Texas. And his inability to make contact drove them crazy. Then it was on to Cleveland, now here. He's got power, he's got speed, good defender. He just strikes out entirely too much. And now they have Hundley hung up. That's going to do it. Talk about jumping the gun. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left when the Dodgers hit in the 8th. Hundley, deader than Julius Caesar. Kike Hernandez, A.J. Ellis, and Baez are due to hit. Go to the top of the 8th. Time to take a look at the Dodger calendar, brought to you by 76. In much nicer weather tomorrow night, back at Dodger Stadium, Tom Kohler, and Zach Greinke. We know that Dan Herron's going to pitch on Tuesday. We don't know who's going to go for the Dodgers quite yet. And on Wednesday, Jared Cozart against somebody, because pitchers are required in this game.
That will be to be announced.
Mm-hmm. And here's Hernandez leading it off. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. So we know that Greinke's going tomorrow. And a note about Greinke and Kershaw, like Butch and Sundance. Since Greinke arrived, in the hole and into left field for a base hit. A leadoff single in the 8th for Kike Hernandez. Since Zach Greinke arrived in 2013, Kershaw and Greinke combined have gone 75 and 26 with a 2.25 ERA. The Dodgers are 97 and 35 when they start. Anybody other than Kershaw and Greinke, a collective record of 107 wins and 113 losses.
We know where to attribute the winning seasons.
2 of them are combined 49 games over 500. That's some bunt by Ellis. And Hernandez goes to second. So the lead run with 1 out. And Justin Turner's going to come up and pinch hit. Terrific sacrifice bunt by A.J. Ellis.
Get the bat out front, catch the ball to deaden it. Had the proper angle on the bat. Got it about 15, 17 feet away from the catcher, which was perfect.
These are the little things late in games that the 2015 Dodgers are doing that frankly they didn't do nearly enough in 2014. Another reason why the Dodgers 9 games over 500 with the second best record in the league. Clutch hitting Justin Turner. Swing and a miss, and it kicks off the glove of Nick Hundley, and the Dodgers now have the lead run 90 feet away.
That's huge for the Dodgers and Justin Turner at the plate, because it just changes your whole at bat. Going, okay, you swing and miss there, it gets away. Now all of a sudden you get that guy over to third base. The infield's going to be coming in. And now you're looking for a pitch that you can drive to the outfield.
Turner this year with runners in scoring position, 6 for 14. That's .429. And throughout his career, he's just been a great clutch hitter. And that's going to drive in a run, and maybe more, a lot more. A 2-run home run for Justin Turner, and the Dodgers take a 7-5 lead. Into the Dodger bullpen. That interrupts their work for just a moment.
They need to bring somebody off the bench because they're the only warm guys. He is hot. Play me or trade me. This guy, what a great swing.
Everybody coming off the bench, picking him up, doing their job. He gets a breaking ball that he stays back on. I mean, his timing, I'm watching him hit, his timing is incredible, especially with that high leg kick. That's one of the things that can get you in trouble, but he's just putting pitchers in trouble the way he's been hitting the ball.
So the Dodgers take a 7-5 lead on the Turner pinch hit home run. And the Rockies make a change, and the Dodgers are sitting pretty. Runs batted in. Pinch hitting for Baez, who now stands to win the game. Cannot lose it. Dodgers take a 7-5 lead. And the Dodgers, when they hit a home run this year, are 16-7. Boone Logan becomes the 5th Rockies pitcher of the afternoon. Jock Peterson will be the first batter he faces. The game that was rained out last night has been rescheduled, boys. We've got a day-night doubleheader on June the 2nd.
So next time we're here in town.
So don't forget to pack your lunch. It's a split doubleheader. Well, I'll tell you one thing. They were absolutely right about the weather all weekend. They said we'd maybe get 2 hours to play Friday night. That's about what we got. There was no chance we were going to play last night, and we didn't. And they said we'd play today, but it was going to be really cold. And when the day began, there was 5 inches of snow on the ground. But the Dodgers are more than happy with the results to this point.
Once we lost the starting pitchers, Clayton Kershaw and Jorge De La Rosa, it became a battle of the bullpens, and Dodgers have won that battle so far.
Well, the Dodgers have the second best statistical bullpen in the league, and Colorado's ranks 14th out of the 15 teams. The Dodgers, by the way, have won 7 in a row against the Rockies, dating back to last year. 15 of the last 18.
The 2 strikes, even Jock Peterson doesn't get cheated when he swings.
You didn't think that was a 2-strike swing? 2-strike approach?
Just going out on a limb, no. That he was thinking about, if I square this up, it's going a long way.
He might be thinking a 2-strike approach, but it's not going into his bat speed.
3-2. Now beneath us. Jimmy Rollins on deck.
Adrian hasn't quite got the Jacques on the 2-strike approach and giving into a pitcher and just taking your base hit to left, which Adrian does very, very well.
Jock today, 2 walks, a strikeout, and a ground out. At .258 with 9 home runs and 19 runs batted in. Rollins on deck, Kendrick to follow. Giants come from behind, beat the Marlins 3-2 in the Diamondbacks. Have beaten the Padres. So the Dodgers, if they can win this thing, and they now lead at 7-5 with 1 out in the top of the 8th, can increase their lead over San Diego to 4.5. Giants would stay even at 5 back. Colorado would fall 8 back. Arizona 7 back. Add another walk for Peterson. 3 walks and a strikeout today for Josh. And here's Jimmy Rollins, who is dressed for the occasion. Rollins today, 0 for 2, 2 walks and a run scored.
Nomar, when we had these days where the guys can wear the pink and want to wear the pink for Mother's Day and for breast cancer awareness, did you look forward to that day, to wearing something different than you normally wear?
Yeah, you did. I mean, you're kind of looking at your equipment, you see the shoes, you see the bats.
Did you have any superstitions with your equipment? Where all of a sudden you wouldn't want to wear a certain thing?
You know, for that day, no, because you just knew what it represented, what it was all about. You know, it was just put on the wristbands, and you know, when I played, I didn't have as much. Now that they have the undershirt and everything, it was more just about the wristband.
Two balls and a strike. Breast Cancer Awareness Day. Special shout out to Sherry Patton, wife of Dodger owner Bobby Patton. They are here today. She is fighting a noble battle with breast cancer. She came down and met with the club before the game today. Two balls and two strikes.
I'm just going on memory, but I'm thinking, is Torrey Hunter the first one to use the pink bat? I was thinking all of a sudden somebody requested it. It wasn't like supplied to everybody. Somebody requested it, got it, and that started the trend with the bats.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I know what I remember him. You're right.
I'm just thinking because there's so many different items now that you can wear that are pink. But at the beginning, like you said,
it was just a wristband.
It was the wristband, and it was also the patch.
That's right.
And then a few guys started the next year. Can I get a glove? Can I get a
maybe
bat?
A pink bat, right?
And now, 3-4 days before the clubhouse, the shipments come in of all the different items.
And now we chuckle because there are times where the bats, you're using it just for this one day, but sometimes the wood is better on the pink bat. You're like, wait a minute, how come my other bats don't have this nice of wood?
We saw an 8-grainer down there. What was it, an Andre's locker, Ethan's locker?
See if Peterson goes on 3-2. He doesn't. Lined into right center field for a base hit, and Peterson will go to third. So the Dodgers have runners at the corners with one out, two already in here in the eighth, and Howie Kendrick is coming up.
Well, one, good for Jimmy Rollins to get that base hit. Hopefully can get things going for him. Ball on the end of the bat, and he's able to put it out there, but also a good run, good read by Jock Peterson, hustling on this, recognizing how deep the outfielders are and that falling and not hesitating and getting to third. Making sure he's at third with less than 2 outs.
You hit it off the end of the bat today and it stings, but it doesn't sting as much when it falls in for a hit.
Yeah, goes away a lot quicker.
Yeah, it's amazing what a medicine that is.
It's the difference between being stung by a bee and a mosquito. Howie Kendrick, 1 for 3, a walk and a run scored. Ken Roberts, a left-hander, now warming up in the Rocky bullpen. There he is.
Rocky bullpen is very descriptive.
Oof. A Rocky bullpen filled with potholes. Well, they're pitching, from top to bottom. We saw Eddie Butler, who is what passes for their ace these days. Their starters after him are 5-10 with an ERA of over 6.
Wow.
And the bullpen has an ERA of 5.10.
Bad offense is a long day. Bad pitching is a long year.
And again, the Rockies began the season at 7-2. But 4-14 since. Slicing to right. It is a fair ball. Peterson will score. Rollins will hold at third. Big turn for Kendrick. He's got an RBI, his 16th. Third run of the eighth, and the Dodgers lead 8-5.
Well, they didn't hit him very hard when they got 5 off of Clayton Kershaw in the fourth, so the Rockies can't be going, oh, they're getting lucky. Howie just does a nice job just staying on it and putting it in play.
Coming into this game, the Dodgers had won 7 of 9, 10 of their last 14. The Rockies had lost 8 in a row. Watching this game, and really discount the 5 innings that we saw the other night because that was just a 5-inning game. But here, watching over the course of now 8 and a third innings, the Dodgers just have too much talent, and the other guys don't have nearly enough pitching. Turner comes off the bench. It's a 2-run home run. That broke the tie, and the Dodgers just keep coming at him. Gonzalez today, 2 for 4, couple of doubles, 3 RBIs. Now at 994. Career runs batted in, 6 from 1,000. Into short center. And Tulowitzki makes the play. Tagging and on his way home and scoring is Jimmy Rollins. The throw gets past Hundley, and the throw from Logan goes into center field. Dodgers score another and now lead it 9-5.
That was a great job by Jimmy Rollins, recognizing at first he was thinking, okay, do I go maybe halfway to read if it was going to fall? And then he noticed how Tulo's turning his back, so he goes, I'm going to tag on this instead. And when Tulo catches, he takes off. And as a teammate, Adrian Dallas, you appreciate the effort there by Jimmy Rollins, the hustle, because it becomes a sac fly, RBI for you. And
if Stubbs catches the ball, Jimmy can't go. If Tulo catches the ball with his back to him, he goes, and he's got that read.
4 runs batted in on the afternoon for Gonzalez. He's now at 995. And earlier today, Clayton Kershaw struck out the 1,500th of his career in his 216th start. Now Alex Guerrero with Kendrick at second. The scoring went a sac fly and a Tulowitzki error on the throw, allowing Kendrick to go to second. And the Dodgers are sitting in clover. Some folks are sitting in snow. And Guerrero, 1 for 4, And a pop-up into short center again. This time Stubbs calls off LeMahieu, and that will end the inning. Justin Turner cracks his 5th home run of the year, a pinch hit shot that lands in the Dodger bullpen. 2 of the 4 runs for the Dodgers in the 8th. They lead 9-5. Dodgers follow along as Yasiel Puig goes on a minor league assignment with the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Plus, we travel with the team on the road trip to Milwaukee and to Colorado. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers on Thursday at 5:30 right here on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet. Justin Turner stays in the game at third base. Adam Libator comes on to pitch and make his 8th appearance of the year. All he does is retire almost everybody. He has faced 23 batters in his young major league career and retired 22 of them. And starts Stubbs off with a strike. It's 0-1. Libator out of Western PA, Beaver Falls. One really famous athlete came out of there, Joe Willie Namath. There's a strike. 0-2. Carlos Gonzalez is on deck, and Libator deals outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's been a long year already for Carlos Gonzalez. And for the Rockies, for that matter. They're on the verge of losing their 9th straight. Well, that's 23 out of 24 for Adam Libator.
Throws it hard and you can get away with it up, and a lot of times that's where you want it. You can throw above 93, 94 miles an hour. You're going with a down fastball. If you happen to miss up, you want to miss up a lot. You want to miss up above the waist. That's where he did, and he beat him to the plate.
8 strikeouts and no walks. And Cargo is struggling. Says he's healthy. The knee is fine. The finger is fine. The average isn't.
Well, when you're struggling and then you get one that's kind of thrown at your head that just slips out of Libator's hand there.
Two balls and no strikes. The former Cardinal, Daniel Descalso, is in the on-deck circle. To short. Rollins throws out Gonzalez. 2 out.
Omar, do hitters ever admit to each other that it's hard to get back in there after getting one at your noggin and swing at that fastball away like the next pitch was, Cargo?
You know, I haven't heard too many hitters say that after they're like, okay, it goes in. For me, it just got me angry.
Yeah.
And then it was like...
The anger then blocked out the fear?
Right.
Just like, I'm getting back in there, let's go.
Yes, that was the mentality for me. But usually they don't... Coming back in, I never really heard somebody go, oh.
Even admitted on the bus or in the food room? Or
They
anybody ask you, a great hitter like you, anybody ask you, like, what did you do to block that out and get back in there?
Not in the big league level, because I think everybody kind of has that mentality there, knowing that, okay, sometimes there's going to be some scary situations like that, but you jump back in.
Descalso with 2 out. Last year in St. Louis. This year in Colorado. Cardinals began the day at 22-8, and the Rockies began the day at 11-16. 9-5 Dodgers, 2 out in the bottom half of the 8th. Two and 1. So Greinke and Kohler, tomorrow night's pitchers, back home at balmy Dodger Stadium. Two and 2. At least in Milwaukee we had a roof over our heads. Oh, it's warmed up. 72 back home, we're told.
There's no place like home.
Oh. Backhanded play by Guerrero. And, I'm sorry, Turner. It is Turner who came in, took over for Guerrero, and all Turner did in the bottom of the 8th, top half, hit the 2-run home run. Makes a terrific play to end the bottom half of the 8th. Justin Turner. .com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At bat is up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Ken Roberts now pitching for the Rockies as we head to the 9th. And before we get to the 9th, let's review the bottom of the 8th. And Adam Libator who has retired everybody but one since beginning his major league career.
That's a pretty good start.
It surely is.
And I was just thinking back to the beginning of spring training when we knew Kenley was going to be down. Who were the candidates to pitch really the 7th and 8th inning? I know we were looking for who's going to be the closer, but if you just thought it was going to be Baez, Garcia, and Libator are going to be the key pieces.
Heisey with a pop-up to second. And that's LeMahieu.
I remember us talking about Chris Hatcher as one of the top candidates to close.
He had Peralta there for a little bit, and he's on the DL.
Right. But really for some unknowns compared to last year when we had all the great resumes, for these unknowns to have been put together by the baseball minds in the front office, they have done an outstanding job and shown their evaluations to be true.
Well, Baez today, 1 hit in an inning and a third, struck out 1. Libator, 12 pitches, 7 strikes, perfect inning, struck out 1. Baez's ERA is $1.88. Libator, 0. Yimi Garcia has an ERA of .66. J.P. Howell, 108. Nicasio, 126. Paco, 129. Sergio Santos, 3. What's wrong with this guy? An ERA of 3.
Doesn't he know that the rest of the bullpen is on the I drive? Oh, man. They're all starting with 1s.
And Garcia and Baez starting with nones. Got 0s.
They don't get the drive.
3 balls and a strike to Kike Hernandez. You get the sense that Kike is not a big fan of cold weather.
Omar, you said something interesting today to Don Maglia, talking about L.A. and thickness of batting gloves.
Yeah, when you're out there in the Northeast, guys over there in Boston, they used to get, when they got their batting gloves for the year, so they would be thicker batting gloves, like warm weather batting gloves. And because you have a lot of these days there, where I'm going in L.A., they're not sending you the warm weather batting gloves.
So when you played for us, there's no way you got the thick batting gloves delivered to Dodger Stadium in blue.
You weren't getting that. So these guys probably were going, oh, well, I didn't get those this year.
So in LA, you get Tommy Bahama hitting gloves.
Yeah, you're looking for air vents,
2 out. In Boston, you get North Face, and in LA, you get Tommy Bahama.
And it's you're playing in weather like this. You're constantly blowing air in your hands, trying to get one. It's really about getting your hands just warm.
A.J. Ellis takes a strike. Back in the 8th inning when the game was tied, Kike Hernandez led off the inning with a single to left, and Ellis laid down just a perfect bunt. That would bring up Justin Turner, who's in the on-deck circle. Turner would hit a 2-run pinch hit home run and change the way this game has evolved. Ellis flies to center, and the Dodgers take a 4-run lead into the bottom half of the 9th, 3 outs away from their 20th win of the season. 9-5. In the 8th, on to finish it up in the 9th. He'll be facing Charlie Blackmon, DJ LeMahieu, and Troy Tulowitzki. The Dodger bullpen now in the middle of a 11 2/3 innings scoreless streak. Baez went an inning and a third today, and Liberatore struck out 1 in the 8th inning. Dodger bullpen at 192 has the second lowest earned run average and 104 strikeouts in 91 innings and only 32 walks. They have just been great. Blackmon 0 for 4. Liberatore throws nothing but strikes. Just in case. Jimmy Garcia and Chris Hatcher.
Just in case, those are the guys that are the minor leaguers that come on the road trips in spring training.
It's Justin Turner at third base, but that's not important now either. To second base, Kendrick. 1 out.
It's an impressive start from Adam, just the way he's throwing the ball. And it's one thing to throw it well, it's another thing to be consistent. That's what he's been.
Well, he gets the lefty Blackmon. And so his job has been done. Faces 4 batters, retires them all. He has now retired 26 of the 27 hitters he has faced in his brief major league career. Jimmy Garcia's on to clean up the small details. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Dodgers 9-5. Personally, 11 2/3 scoreless.
Tremendous velocity, tremendous movement. Boy, he's had some outings where A.J. Ellis or Yasmani Grandal have not had to even move the glove.
LeMahieu and then Tulowitzki. The day began at 37 degrees and a crowd of 30,710. Temperature's gone up and the attendance has gone down. It's now a balmy 39. Personal thank you from Omar and Laurel to Alex Torres, our clubhouse attendant, keeping us warm today. This really was football weather in late November. And a call strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to LeMahieu, 0 for 2, 2 walks and a run scored. On a day when Kershaw struggled, but the bullpen picked him up, and the offense came up with 3 in the 5th and 4 in the 8th. Dodgers at one point were down 5-2. That man, Turner, pinch hit 2-run home run in the 8th. Adrian Gonzalez 2 doubles, 4 runs batted in.
I was just thinking right now, if the Dodgers are able to pull this off, another come from behind, win, especially scoring runs after the 6th, just something we did not see from the team last year, and what's really just separated this team from this year. And I was just thinking, gosh, they won so many games last year, but oftentimes it just felt like they were dead because they didn't have those comeback wins.
LeMahieu is done.
This low arm angle and this run that's on this ball, so the ball looks like it's going to be up and down the middle, and you see all the run up and in there, just tying up LeMahieu.
Jimmy Garcia now has 22 strikeouts, just 4 walks in 14 innings. Dodgers 1 out away. Dodgers split 4 in Milwaukee, looking to sweep 2 here in Colorado. Last night's game rained out, has been rescheduled for the next Dodger visit into Denver, June 2nd. Good day-night doubleheader. Tulowitzki is 1 for 4. And now down to his last strike. The Dodgers again with this great bench this year. And even the little things, that A.J. Ellis sacrifice bunt in the 8th inning, those were things we just didn't see last year. Each at-bat has been quite something. Dodgers came into the day most home runs in the league, 2nd in runs scored, 1st in on-base percentage. They just wear you down.
Well, even the players that are in the slumps contributed. Jimmy Rollins tried to get on with a bunt, but ended up getting a bloop hit, making contact. He walked twice. A.J. Ellis in a slump, got the bunt down, like you mentioned. Charlie also got a walk.
Tulowitzki is done. So are the Rockies. The Dodgers a mini 2-game sweep. They have now beaten the Rockies 8 consecutive games dating back to last year. 5-0 this season, and quite an afternoon for our Lexus player of the game, Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez, 2 doubles, the big blast, a bases loaded, double in the 5th, knocked in 4 on the afternoon, now standing at 995 career runs batted in. So the Dodgers win it, and they'll be going home to a lot nicer weather than we've experienced here in Denver. But 2 for 2, they'll take both wins happily. For Alana Rizzo, Mark Garcia Power, Oral Hershiser, Charlie Steiner say good night and goodbye from Denver. We'll see you tomorrow night at Dodger Stadium. Now we send it back to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Nissan. See you tomorrow.